We're not expecting another.
No, it's just you thought.
I thought there was.
Was 5, but it's 4.
One, two,
I'm just sort of prepping a couple of things in the background, and we shall get going.
I thought there was 5 in chat. So
there was one dropped out this morning. Hence the fact I had to go off and have a little cry earlier.
Okay.
You could just get that FX bod to take part in the game instead of just sitting there listening all the time. You'd have your extra player, wouldn't you? Instead of screaming.
I wouldn't worry. I'm sure today won't be too problematic, and there's and I'm sure everything will be perfectly safe, sound, and nothing could possibly go wrong at this school. After all, Daddy's paid a lot of money for you to come here.
Oh dear, it's not one of those schools, is it?
I do have something. I can have some fun with crit fails if I remember. But I probably won't go there today. Oh, it's meant to be fun. We probably will. Okay.
Yeah, I do like the.
Let this music finish. It's quite good. You can't hear it, but it's really rather good for the game. So I'm going to let it go. Is everybody in? Is everybody ready? Is there any questions about the setting? Any questions about your characters?
Can I change my name to Alexander, Boris?
No, there can only be one Alexander thing.
Guess if I die quickly, that'll be good, won't it?
Right, we got David Anime Johnson, haven't we? We got Gary Smith. We got Lillian, and we got Poppy. So that's all 4 characters. Why is Poppy's adventure card missing? What happened to Poppy's adventure card? Did she never get one? There we go. Hello, one and all, and welcome pupils to the Halloween Planning Committee for the Halloween party at Bartington Hall. The 4 of you are the members of the committee planning the Halloween party. You lucky lot. So when the adventure begins, we will find ourselves in classroom 3A of the study block during lunch break. The concert's in 5 hours, and up to this point, you as a committee have done absolutely nothing to prepare for it. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about there. So at this point, I think we shall allow everyone to introduce themselves, and in traditional format, we'll go left to right as it is on my screen. So we start off with David Anime Johnson.
Quiet, Bandit.
Why are you telling me to be quiet for? Shh.
I thought he was role playing.
No, it was my dog.
He's scaring me. I'm David, but everyone calls me Anime because I like cartoons.
Well, he doesn't obviously talk much. Okay. Oh, hang on. Someone's changed characters. Or I got it wrong. You're not being Poppy anymore then?
Oh, I was going to be Ruby, but no, I was never going to be Poppy.
It's got your name on it. Okay, that's fine. That's probably a good job we got. Okay, that brings us to Alexandre d'Alsace, or as people call you around here, Duck.
It's Alexander, thank you very much. And I am here simply because I must be. There is no other education that is worth my time.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Next is Lillian Nakadami.
I'm just so excited to be at school. It's got so much outdoor. I love animals, running around, rolling about, and swimming and climbing. And my daddy taught me a cool thing called kung fu. It's where you hit things and they break.
Okay. And last but no means least, especially after Lillian, there is Gary Smith.
Yeah, this guy's. I'm here because you lot can't play cricket.
Well, there we go. So, a couple of things we'll explain as we're going at this point. There are a couple of setting rules. You may have noticed on your character sheets you have slightly less skills than normal, but that's because certain skills have got muddled in together. So, where is it? I'm just trying to remember where I put it under myself. Setting rules. So first things first, obviously, all of you got the hard to kill edge for free, so you're fine there. Obviously, also, you all started with Daddy's money, so you're all quite well off, apart from Gary, of course. And you all should have, you should all have some house points. And basically, house points are basically, obviously, you get awarded points for sporting achievements, hard work, or generally being a good egg. And conversely, if you behave badly, you'll have house points taken away. I didn't worry too much about what houses you're in, because for one shot, it doesn't matter so much. It's probably safe to assume that each of you is from one of the 4 houses. And I say we're not going to worry too much about the houses today. In later games, that might be more important. Obviously, you are basically in game terms, whoever's got the most house points gets a +1 bonus on persuasion and performance rolls with teachers. So obviously, if you're the highest house points in the party, you'll get a bonus on persuasion rolls and performance rolls when dealing with teachers. And whoever's got the least amount will be -1. At the moment, you're all on 4 points, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. The last thing to say is, obviously, you are teenagers. You're either about 15 or 16 years old, and therefore you're studying in the UK, so therefore at the moment you are preparing to take your GCSEs. At that level, there are 5 compulsory subjects: English, maths, religious education, science, and a language. And then you will have additionally 4 more options, except for Alexander, who's basically a boffin and has a fair few more. On your languages tab, you will notice that in most cases, English will be the only language you have without an asterisk next to it. If you need to talk to someone or read anything or understand anything in a language with an asterisk next to it, which is very interesting for certain characters when they're trying to get across very important stuff, you'll need to make a common knowledge roll to completely understand what's going on. That might get annoying and we might forget about it after a while, but that's where it is. But if you, on your notes tab, you will have your subjects your character is studying. All of those subjects
David
all fall under
Anime
common knowledge
Johnson.
rolls, as long as you can explain why
Love of comics is
speaking
hairstyle.
Spanish will let you interpret something or something. It's a common knowledge roll. It's as simple as that. That's pretty much it. Just to explain the mechanics for that. So basically, as I say, you've had quite a few months to practice for this, but what with cricket game matches and other extracurricular activities and other stuff getting in the way, basically, you haven't really sat down and planned anything. And as I say, in 5 hours' time, the party concert takes place. And so it's quite straightforward, really. You have to decide which two of the free school bands that have signed up for the concert Viagra Manifesto, a punk band by a bunch of rebellious kids who have an original song called Sod the System That Made Us Rich. Or Bedsheet, an indie band who sing whiny songs about how difficult life is and how no one understands them. And Davy Bean. He's the only boy in the entire school brave enough to openly admit to being gay, and he wants to karaoke a bunch of ABBA covers. Unfortunately, there's only room for 2 acts. Viagra Manifesto is fronted by a kid named Uriel Mont Saint-Michel, who is currently writing a groundbreaking movie script about heroin, fish and chips, and repression of art. Bedsheet is fronted by Jonathan Price Gordon, a prefect who is so tall and thin he could be mistaken for a lamppost with glasses at a distance. That says he does have one of the floppiest fringes, or bangs, I think, American terminology, in the school.
Be better if he's going to be in an emo band.
Exactly. So this is basically, as I say, you've got to choose. Basically, there's only enough time for two bands to go ahead, and at the moment, obviously, you've got 3 choices. So it's you get to choose amongst yourselves which 2 bands you're going to allow to take part in the concert.
Well, we're going to all join one band, are we?
No. You're the committee. You're choosing which band is going to be in the
Let's let
concert.
the ABBA cover guy go on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. ABBA's got to do it, and Doswelk's got to do the singing.
Okay, that's a really horrifying thought you've just put up there.
Well, you can
anyway.
you can play it through the Discord. Mamma mia!
Hey, copyright.
Yeah, copyright. I just followed through. There you go. It's a parody. My! I think I just shouted. There you go. It's definitely a parody now.
Apparently, YouTube, you just can't swear in the first minute. You can't swear in the first minute of your video.
Oh, if shouting
It's a strange
fart isn't swearing. So.
So, as you're discussing this, the door opens and in walks a tall boy in a prefect tie with powerful blue eyes, shining blonde hair, and a smile that could cut wallpaper at 30 feet. It's Archie Sindel, the head boy. Oh, good. The committee. Look, need to discuss some important things with you little piglets. There's a concert tonight, right? I'm going to be making a big speech at it now. Right at the end. Sort that out, won't you? Can I have notice checks, please?
Ba-ba-dee-ba-ba-ba-ba.
In order to sort that out, we're going to need to know what your favourite ABBA song is.
It is. It's quite appropriate. David's the only one who's. David's the only one who notices at the moment. But it looks like Gary. It would be appropriate that Gary really notices this. Look at that roll dice going. Yes, Gary certainly notices it, and David does. But Alexandra and Lillian are obviously. Alexandra's probably dreaming about.
Pretty.
Alexandra's obviously dreaming about overthrowing the public and restoring the aristocracy to France, and Lillian's obviously thinking about horses again. But David and Gary, you do notice that Sindel, he only makes eye contact with 3 of you. It's almost as if Gary Smith isn't even in the room.
Then I'll repeat louder. I said, Archie, in order to do this, we need to know what your favourite ABBA song is. So give over.
Right, you've got the band's book now, right? Good. Right. Oh, I'm gone caught me because of you. But you've got the band's booked right now, right? Good. Can't wait for the concert, chaps. I'm sure it's going to be an absolute classic. And then he walks out again, having not even acknowledged that he heard Gary speaking in any way, shape, or form.
He's a right bastard, isn't he?
Very rude.
To be honest, as a pleb, you're quite used to it, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but that's that's maybe because he thinks he's a pleb.
So, as I say, obviously you've got to sort out the bands, and then of course you've got to go let the bands know which ones you've picked. So, over to you guys.
All right,
So you're going to let Viagra and ABBA, or the other one and ABBA? The emos and ABBA, or I think we've got to have the Viagra tablets. Viagra and ABBA.
it's going to be easiest to let the emos know that they're not playing, right? We let the punk band know.
I don't know. I think picking the Viagra band would be quite a hard choice.
Oh no!
You're too squeaky to be talking like that, you dirty, dirty.
Oh dear, that's terrible. I'm going to have to give you one for that, though.
Right, but can't think of a better evening than a punk band followed by other karaoke.
Righty-ho. So,
And then
obviously,
after that, we got to book a space for Archie. Have we? We'll just see what he says in it. And
I mean, nothing against Robert and his band, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was
No,
saying
that's okay.
we got to give Archie a speech at the end. Have we let him have a speech at the end?
Oh yeah, you can't not. Unfortunately, it's one of those things. If the head boy says something, then you have to move heaven and earth to do it, because obviously, you know.
Right, but what happens if the PA system goes out?
Then, well, I suspect then he will be most upset, and obviously that means his father will be most upset, which then means the extensive donations to the school that in no way have anything to do with being head boy means the school gets upset.
And somebody might mop the toilet floor with your hair.
Of course, that's the last thing. But that yeah, exactly. From your perspective, Gary, you'll probably be down the toilets cleaning them again, head first. Except obviously with you, they probably don't get away with doing that unless they're much bigger than you. But
Right.
as you say, the PA system could go out. Who knows?
Do we know what it's about?
He certainly wouldn't have told you, and he hasn't. He said he didn't say anything else. Obviously, it's it's obviously all important. So I wouldn't worry. I'm sure it's of importance, and obviously, therefore, But make you. But you'll find out when he does the talk, I suppose. So that's fine.
That's not what I want to find out now, is it?
So you're choosing Viagra, Manifesto, and Davy Bean.
Right. Go let them know.
So basically, given that basically the bands that will be taking part will want to be getting into the auditorium for 16:30, so they've got an hour to practice before the show. You really need to sort of let the bands know that your choices know sooner rather than later that you've picked.
We can go and let them know, but does karaoke, do they really need to practice? I mean, they'll have to do
I
something.
think they've got to set up their stuff and everything. Obviously,
Okay.
Yeah, they've got to get the stuff in. Obviously, the band will take more time than Davey, but Davey was probably still have to get his karaoke set up and his screen and these, all that stuff. And you gather he did mention something about sort of sparkly streamers and other special effects he was going to use. Light shows and flashing, something about pink unicorns dancing around the room or something.
Oh, that's great.
And also, he also, but the thing he's most excited about, and the only reason you know about it, David, because it was meant to be a surprise, is because he got you to help him with some of the more high tech stuff. Is he's with your help, and obviously a fair bit of his father's money, he's basically going to set up. He's setting up. You've set up a system where you'll be able to move TV screens, but like 6 foot tall TV screens around the stage. So what's going to happen is, as he's doing the karaoke act, ABBA will be his backing singers, and they'll be moving with him.
Oh yes, I knocked that together, didn't I?
We made the best choice.
Indeed. So first things first, really. You're going to have to track down the bands. So obviously you can either ask around or you can just literally walk around the school. As I say, I do believe I said it was lunchtime at this time, so you've only got about 15 minutes left of the lunch break to find the two bands to let them know that they need to be on, basically by the school hall by 4:30.
Let's go and let Davey know first.
Okay. Davey's quite easy to find. He's because you know where to always find him. He's always sort of in the same area. So he's obviously quite ecstatic, and
so Davey, we decided to take a chance on you.
I like
and we want you to say, I do, I do, I do, I do.
That was good. I'm just making sure I gave it to the right person there. Yes, I did. So he looks concerned and goes, only an hour? I should be able to set it up in time. I've got a couple of friends that can help. And he runs off happily looking for whoever's going to help him set it all up. Obviously, being on the committee and everything, I'm sure. However, it proves a little harder to find. I've lost his name. Uriel Mont Saint Michel.
Is there anybody else in the band that we know of?
You can make networking rolls or notice rolls as you're moving around the school trying to find them. Networking, obviously, being persuasion, probably, or intimidation, probably in Gary's case, or obviously notice checks.
Wait, what's the gossip?
Okay. Indeed. In fact, actually, Gary got the raise. What you do notice is Gary yourself and Alexandra improve persuasion. So, Gary, you look around. You realise you can't see either of the front men for Bedsheet or Viagra Manifesto anywhere. And Alexandra, you find the same thing. No one's seen them since the start of lunch. But you do find all of you do get pointed in the direction of the rest of the band for Viagra Manifesto. They basically say they haven't seen Uriel either, but they're very happy to know that you picked them, and they obviously will make sure that Uriel and them were all there at 4:30.
Do you not have their phone number? Can you not call them?
No, mobile phones are not allowed to be used inside the school during school hours.
Oh, we can go and make an announcement, right?
I mean, you've done all you need to do. You've told the band, and they'll see him they'll see him in one of the classes, and obviously, it's not a problem. It won't be a problem. Okay. So it doesn't take long until break is over, and unfortunately, of course, it is a school, and you do have to go to class. So that's a case of maths and followed by English. So what I need to do is let's see how well everyone does in maths class with a common knowledge roll, please.
Oh, what a gun play.
Okay. So, that's looking good. So basically everyone, okay, David and Gary and Alexandra, all of you excel during the, apart from Lydian, I mean, all of you, the three, but all the boys, I shall say, excel during the maths class.
Sexist.
And at the end of the maths, and by the end of the lesson, each of you have been awarded a house point. Which means at the moment you technically you all got the highest, so you all get a bonus. Anyway, then later on you have the.
Do we do that manually, or do you do it?
I've just I managed to add house points to your character sheets, but I couldn't remember how Aki did the coding towards street cred, and I couldn't get it to work, so I took it out, and it's a manual thing on my part.
Did I get a house point because I thought he failed it?
Did I give you one by mistake? No, you're on 4 house points. Everyone else should be on 5.
Teacher's pet.
Okay, next follow. Obviously, now we have an English class, so again we can see how well you do in English. So yet again, it's a nice common knowledge roll. No, I just want to see if anyone gets held back after class because that would be interesting. Oh, looks like everyone's. Yeah, look, everyone gets a house point there. So I'm afraid at the end of the day, although I think. Well, we shall add them on because we'll
I
see
think
what happens.
Gary was cuffing off of me.
Does look like it, but he got away with it. Although you might be a bit knocked about that later. It does look like he was copying off you because he got exactly as the two of you ended up doing exactly as well as each other. Someone's who 6, 5. Yeah, I think I've done everyone. Gary's on. Yeah, everyone's got their correct number of house points.
I did my own.
Oh, that would explain why I got confused. Right. In the beginning of the English class, a note appears on your desk, Lillian. If anyone wants to make a notice roll, you might see where it originated from. You obviously all saw the note being passed around, but a notice check is required to see where it started. Well, look at that. That's common knowledge, so that doesn't account.
That doesn't count. That's the wrong roll. Yeah, hang on. No.
Yes.
No idea where that came from.
So, actually, I will hold on to that David roll because he's already done the common knowledge, so that makes life easier. So, it came from a girl with a Roman nose sitting at the back of the class, wearing her Hartwell tie loosely to her side. David, you recognise her as Tiffany Van Lloyd, head of the student newspaper. Last month, she ran a massive expose on the fact that the living Spanish teacher, Mr. Braithwaite, was caught secretly growing a geranium in his room when plants weren't allowed. And Lillian, the note simply says, "Meet me after class. I know about the ban."
So I've got to meet somebody after class about the band.
Which band?
Well, I don't know, I forget. Presumably the bands we want to appear. We can't find all the band, though, can we? Maybe they know. Maybe the person knows.
Is Tiffany in any of the bands? Or
No, she isn't. No, she's, as I say, she's head of the student
does she
newspaper.
hang out with anybody in the band?
No, not that you know of.
Right. Is she prone to exaggeration to get readers?
Well, you got to wonder if the biggest expose she could come up with was a teacher growing a geranium in his room. You get the impression that there's not a lot of news around this place, so possibly, but she's probably quite level-headed in that regard. And obviously, given how rich everyone is, she's probably extra careful about it being libelous or scandalous about people and make sure everything's has factual backgrounds behind it. Because I'm sure certain parents would be more than happy to defend their children's honour or any scurrilous backstories. So she's probably. I think you'll find she is a diligent and level-grounded individual. And doesn't go for the sensational side of the newspapers.
Okay.
Which is probably why the student newspaper probably doesn't have a big. Well, they don't sell it anyway, do they? Just print it, and it's obviously just free. It's obviously it's one of those things that the school might not actually necessarily want, especially with storylines like that coming out. But at the same time, of course, in this day and age, you've got to have that sort of thing on your prospectus and everything because it looks good and it makes it look like the school cares about the modern world and embracing activities and all that. Whereas you know. Goes back to my day when I said I wanted to do computers and I was told there's no future in computers.
Oh, I was told exactly the same thing. what they call career advisors. Olders know.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't have a clue what I was talking about.
Me too.
Useless muppets. Yeah.
It was obviously a thing about the UK that basically computers were not the future.
In fact,
It's really weird because you had that great BBC put out their own computer, and you
Yes.
had a great series over there, which, you know, when I was coming up, I hungered to watch that stuff because it was just great.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of a computer room with ZX81s in it because they were too modern, and I had to go into a different class and learn a book of logarithmic tables, which is about 3 inches thick.
Yeah,
When
it's
I was-
pathetic. I mean, the whole
Nobody
education
remembers.
system in this country is a joke anyway, but yeah.
When I was doing A-level computing, we obviously had, I think, we had Windows 3.1 by then. The computer class, in our A-level course, we were having to learn how to read punch cards for our A-level computing.
Yeah, that sounds like they were really advanced. God. Wow, man. This is what computing was like in the 60s. Yeah, that's going to help, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway.
Well, I don't know. I think if you know how to.
Yeah, of
Go to
course, but I knew all that anyway because I was interested in
Yes.
computers, so I read all the books and all the stuff and could write and
Yeah,
read
exactly.
binary and hexadecimal and all that crap. But no, there's no career in computers. Yeah, go and become a bricklayer.
When we did this, I went to North East Surrey College of Technology for me A levels, and rather than stayed at school. Well, I did, but that's a whole other point. So the year before. I don't know. A few years before, I think someone abused the email system, so students didn't get the email system anymore. And we didn't have computers. It was a VAX mainframe, and obviously there were just terminals in the computer classrooms.
Those computers.
But you know what I mean. It's not desktop computers. And obviously, we were coding. We were supposed to be sitting there writing programs in Pascal, but you couldn't compile it. You had to submit it off to the compiler. It would go into the queue with everyone else in the two classrooms. You'd wait for it to compile and come back with an error message because we didn't know what we were doing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, we worked out that you could set. Obviously, when you looked at your user account, you could show process names or usernames or something, and you had 8 characters that you could change that was uniquely identified to you, and that is how we used to communicate between classes. Typing messages limited to a maximum of 8 characters, so you could then go show process names, and you'd find the person you were talking to and see what they changed their process name to. So that was how we communicated between 2 classrooms. Because we didn't have email. Only worked if we were all online at the same time. But that's by the by. Anyway, so as you leave the classroom, Tiffany is waiting outside. For you, Lillian.
So what's
So I didn't see, but did the note come from you? Is this what this note's about? You know about the band?
Now I'm wishing I had the voice mod as well so I could do the female voice. But yes, we need to go somewhere and talk. Hello.
Well, that's okay, but yeah, I'll go off, and you can tell me about the band. Just go to the toilet. The boys can't follow.
Indeed. Well, it's up to the boys. Are they? It depends what the boys are, how the boys feel about this one. They seem fine with it. Okay, you go off. As you say, you go off to the girls' toilets, and Tiffany.
Don't worry. They've just met 2 girls. They'll take them 10 minutes before they find their tongues again.
Okay, so Tiffany goes down to. There's obviously more than one toilet block in the school. She picks one of the really old toilet blocks. It's one of the 2. It's the only girls' toilet block that's outside the building in its own dedicated building to itself, with no heating or radiators or anything else. And being October, it's already quite cold in there, so obviously probably relatively empty. Before she even talks to you, though, she walks down each of the cubicles and pushing the door open, and until she's quite convinced that there's no one in this toilet block apart from the two of you. Then she turns back and faces you and says, "Okay, I know where your missing frontmen are. They're both pledging for the Bartington Supper Club today. I know where they've gone, but I need your help."
Yeah, to do what?
Well, you see, it's apparently the first woman ever been invited to join the supper club. I really have no desire to join for the prestige, the connections, or the roast beef dinners. I want to expose it as the melting pot of the misogynistic, male sexist conspiracies that destroy the country that we are born in. Pledges from as far as I could been able to gather, is pledges of the supper club do all sorts of hideous things to get in, like bathing in maggots, to having to whip themselves in the woods. They've and obviously, but once they leave the supper club, they go on to all over the country to rule it. I mean, half of the government have been members of the supper club at one time. It's just, as I say, it's just an old boys club where they just basically divide up the world. So once I get in there, I going to expose it all. But my concern is that my concern about it is basically what I need is I will tell you where Uriel, and I've forgotten the other guy's name. Is it me? Jonathan Price Gordon. I'll tell you where they've gone, but you've got to get the committee to give me a spot at the concert tonight where I can announce what I found out during my pledge and afterwards, and give it and basically expose everything.
Well, the head boy asked to make a speech, so there'll be a microphone and everything. I don't see why you can't just go up and grab the microphone for a bit.
Well, no, you just need to put me on before him, because I know for a fact he's probably, if he's not already, I'm fairly confident he's a member of the supper club, so therefore I would love to preempt anything he's saying by exposing everything. Gives you a big grin.
Well, yeah, I mean, you go up there to make an announcement, maybe even between bands. I don't know, or just after the band at some point. Just say you're going up there to introduce the next act and then say it. Yeah, okay. You probably get you on stage. I don't see the bother with that. No bother.
Well, okay.
I'm not bothered. Are you bothered? I'm not bothered.
Do I look bothered?
Okay. They've gone into the woods to perform a pledge called Piggate, whatever that means.
Piggate? What's Piggate?
I don't know, but that's all I know. And I shall look forward to my slot before. I shall make sure that I'm ready to go up on stage before the head boy.
I don't see a problem with that.
And she rushes off with notes, obviously, probably to go and deal with whatever her pledge is.
Well, let's go and tell the boys that we need to go to the woods.
You go there.
Yeah, otherwise, if we don't find our bands, we're going to be in real trouble.
Yeah, we better go and find them.
Short adventure for no one. Typical. The one I thought I might do was, I thought actually that might grow too long, and now I'm looking at this one, I'm getting concerned. But we'll see what happens. As long as you have fun, that's all that matters. So, Lillian comes back to the others and obviously relays everything that we've just done. So there we go. At this point, it'll be about 3:30 because that was the last class of the day.
Hurrah!
What's the plan?
Okay, so I guess that means we're heading out to the woods.
Yeah, I don't know what pig gate means, but I don't know.
Yep.
Where's the machine guns and all the automatic rifles? Oh, sorry, wrong game.
So the woods are to the south of the school buildings. They take up a good acre of land. At this point, of course, this time of year, it's about by the time you get everything sorted out and sort of are able to get ready to head on out there, it is dusk, which obviously means it's getting dark out there. And you head south out through past the school buildings towards the woods, and the trees of the forest blow in a wind that seems to become more furious the deeper you go. Twigs snap underfoot and the owls hoot behind you. Only a single sliver is left of the moon, and the light it provides only just about lights the way as you are walking. Anyone got survival?
Yes, outdoorsy. I love going picnics. But not at night.
There is
don't
notice
have
rolls if
survival.
you don't have survival. If you don't have survival, there is notice.
Right.
But obviously,
I cannot believe they have me out here walking through the woods at night.
okay. Gary Smith and David both even included the -4 penalty for noticing tracks rather than having the survival skill. On top of the fact it's dusk and there's a -2 on that as well.
Yep, it's my Samsung phone. It's got a good light on it. Yeah.
It is. Basically, you spot the trail of the two band leaders, as it were. The trail takes you into the woods and up to, and obviously you can see over the fence. This you know that crossing this fence is breaking a school rule and will cost 5 house points if you are caught.
Well, just don't tell anybody.
Let's not get caught. Not a good idea, though. Don't want to.
You are all cowards. And Alexandra will go, or
Okay. Alexandrian tumbles over the fence and
Well,
is the first to
I'll-
break the school rules.
I'll follow him then, since.
Okay.
He seems
well.
like such a nice chap and hasn't called me names yet.
Indeed. What about Gary?
Right, let's go. I say
Take it
to
over,
no one.
Nick, Bruce.
I would have thought by now he would have said he wanted to go to the sporting pavilion and pick up his cricket bat, but he didn't.
Well, I've been thinking about it, and I meant to mention to you that if we go by it, I'll
Because
pop
I
in.
remember telling you you'd have to pick it up, but you obviously forgot, so I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Well, I didn't expect us to be in such a position so quickly. But anyway.
Well, maybe I can be. Oh, here we go. Here comes the first. Here comes the first. Spam bot of the day. Just deal with that. Sorry, guys. Maybe I will be nice, having thought about it. Is there any equipment preparation or anything you want to take? Obviously, being paranoid and metagaming wise.
I did want to get
I'm dragging out the adventure bit.
I did want to get a cricket bat and also a helmet.
Okay, well, obviously, the cricket pitches and everything are out this way. So whether or not we will say before you cross the fence, you do decide to take a slight detour and you head over to the cricket pavilion area, which of course at this time of year will of course be locked up.
Right.
Don't play much cricket in the winter.
Right, but is there any other sporting equipment in there? Play rounders?
Well, no, I mean the whole pavilion's locked up, is what I mean. Cricket.
Right. Well, is there any? Is there like a roof to a second-story window?
Probably.
All right. Well, that's easy then. I'll just hop up on the roof and open up a second-story window. Hopefully, it's around the side, right?
I'm sure. I mean, there's doors. There's multiple doors, front and back, and all of that. But I'm pretty sure all of them are locked, unless you're thinking there might be one that isn't.
Second-story windows, they're all locked.
As a rule, they will be. Yeah, your best bet's probably one of the doors. You do know for a fact, being an external building, only holding sort of sporting equipment, that the school being where it is, it won't be alarmed or anything like that. So your best bet's probably just one of the doors.
Okay. Well, I'll try one around the side because I'm sure it's unlocked.
I'm sure it is. Do you want to see if it's unlocked?
I do. Boy, I'm having a good night.
Yes. Funny enough, the door does appear to be unlocked. It's obviously old man Spivers forgot to lock it yesterday.
Right. Yeah. So basically, I take out an ID card, and when I'm claiming to try to see if it's unlocked, I put my hip up against it and slide the ID card in between the door frame and the push the latch back.
Party sheet. Does anyone else wish to follow Gary into the sporting pavilion?
Have we gone over the fence yet, or have we retrofitted it?
We're slightly retrofitting something because I
Okay,
I
I'll
just
go with him
remembered
then,
he
yeah.
wanted. Yeah, so I just remembered he did say he wanted to do this, so I thought I'd be nice and let him. Because I'm nice like that.
Yeah, I think we should all stick together.
We're not going to see Gary King and his mates in there, are we?
Hopefully not. Sporting gear. Yeah, that should do it. And obviously, yeah, there we go. So I'd say it's the sporting pavilion. It doubles up as the storage area for the cricket pitches, the hockey pitch. Well, hockey's played in the winter, so the cricket pitches and the tennis courts and stuff like that. So there's all sorts of there'll be a collection of interesting sporting equipment in there that anyone could possibly come up with. There we go. So Gary basically picks up a cricket bat.
Right. And a helmet, too.
Okay.
I'm thinking zombies.
Oh, dear. I suppose that is.
I could get a hockey stick.
Is savage. Make a notice roll.
Where are the golfing supplies? Just get a ranged attack. Just
the dust doesn't. I assume if you're using your torchlight in here, the dust doesn't apply. So because I've turned it on already, but that doesn't matter if you're using a smartphone. You're not. Yeah, I don't see why there can't be a hockey stick.
Because a hockey stick, I can just push things away from it without actually fighting.
Oh, I keep forgetting that I do forget that I've got to use to the fact that I forget that you have to actually specify the type before you pick it in this. I've only been using it for God knows how many years. Does anybody else wish to indulge in some minor theft from the school?
Good track and field.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking in terms of
Javelin and Discus.
Oh yeah, why not? It sounds like fun.
Or a hammer throw, maybe?
This is the summer sports pavilion mostly. It's very unusual that there was. Oh, for crying out loud! I've done it again. Delete. See, I've been. All right. A discus sounds fun. That's quite heavy. You can't throw it very far.
Right. Hopefully it'll
But obviously, if it
put a
hits,
dent in someone.
yeah, if it hits, it will probably do quite a bit of unpleasantness to them. So it's that. There we go. Let's pop it. That was. That's the Lydian's. Hang on. Go. Oh, don't forget a cricket bat's two-handed. Don't forget. I'll put the discus in if anyone wants it. Any other requests? Probably.
No, I mean, if it gets bad, just slap them and pull their hair.
Indeed. Well, there we are then. On the party sheet, I've left the discus for whoever wants it, the hockey stick and the cricket helmet. Off they go. If anyone wants to nab the discus, feel free. It's under the party sheet. Just drag it and drop it in. And then we will return where we were, to the woods.
I mean,
Nobody's going to take it. I
there
am.
we go. I could take it. I mean, I can chuck it. I mean, I like outdoorsy, runsy things.
The what?
I like sports. I like being outside. I like runs and jumps and things like that. I think I could throw a discus quite far.
Sorry, Jim, I'm not in.
What the hell? I'll be nice and say there was more
It's
than
magic.
one.
Yes, twice.
There you go. There's another discus. There you go. Right. So, anyway, sorry about that. So that was a slight side
we're at
down.
school,
We come
this is a
back
school
and you
kids
suddenly
adventure.
remember that you did this. Okay. Where were we? So you head over the fence. As I say, that's a house breaking a house rule, and that costs you 5 points if you're caught. So you really want to be careful. Following on the trail. The trail leads into a clearing. At the far side, you can see a hut that's been made from branches and leaves. It's big enough and well built, and it would definitely well built enough that it would have earned you camp building points in scale. Looking for something. What am I looking for? I am looking for something I adjusted the other day. Hey, can I have some notice checks, please? Max Viz? I can't remember. I wonder what maneuver does. There is a way to set max visibility, isn't there? But I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. As I say, it's dark and dust. It's dark and the woods are quite heavily. Quite a fair few trees around, and there seems to be a slight mist descending in the area, leaving you a bit cold there. However, you do notice there seems to be some shapes up ahead, and I shall share an image with you.
Come on, image. There we go.
To say the clearing, it seems to end. As I say, it comes into a clearing, which obviously some steep sides on the side there, and the hut at the far end.
I see dead people.
Do you? I don't. Where?
He's not
Okay.
dead.
The
He's
silence
just
of the lack
resting.
of movement.
All right. So let's advance, shall we?
So it's not combat. Yeah, it's just a map to set. It's a map to set some atmosphere and feeling.
Correct answer is we can advance.
If you really zoom in where you currently were standing, Lillian, you might notice there's some tracks. But you've moved on, but it doesn't matter. You might see them later. Okay, what you couldn't have been prepared for, however, is the two bodies you see lying in front of it. Both Uriel Mons San Michel and Jonathan Price Gordon are lying on the ground, blood still oozing from their wounds, their bodies pale and lifeless. Their stomachs have been gored open, and there are strange crescent-shaped wounds on them.
That's our 5 points gone.
Can I have some common knowledge rolls, please? I have to say, David Anime Johnson is incredibly clued in on things, whereas the outdoorsy girl's failing left, right, and centre. She's clueless. Okay, David and Alexandra, but not. David and Alexandra, you recognise the wounds as some kind of hoof mark. In fact, you would even go so far further to say you recognise the marks as trotters.
Trotters?
Trotters.
Pig's trotters.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then weren't they going to go out to the woods and get Piggy Gate? What's Piggy Gate? Is that like some initiation ceremony that's gone wrong and they've all been squished by piggies?
Pigs don't just eat people. Not when they're alive, anyway. I'm going to go and have a look at this backpack I see on the floor.
Well, indeed.
Try not
I
to,
noticed Gary Smith has already made a notice check. Can everyone else do so, please?
Oh, I suppose I can turn my torch on for us for looking around.
Okay. So, this gets an interesting one, so no one makes it, that's fine. From out of the darkness, something begins to move towards you. It steps into the thin moonlight and you see its face. It's huge, its skin is putrid and green, but it is unmistakably a very angry berserk pig. And worse luck, the rotter is charging at you. And I need some spirit rolls for fear, please.
Shit, that's the wrong one. That's why I want. That's why I wanted javelins.
Oh, I can be really evil here. I can be really.
Oh, I didn't. I rolled the wrong one.
Discus, yeah.
Yeah. So I can
Well,
make a
you need-
spirit roll. Get it? So I could spirit roll with a. I mean, no, javelin's not a spear.
Do you roll a critical failure, and I don't even get to go.
No, that's strength. I've rolled the wrong one.
This
I
pig's
know.
got to be painted. Why is the pig green? It must be someone dressed up in a pig suit. It must be.
Okay, so no one failed the spirit checks. Unfortunately, you all failed your notice rolls. So basically, only the pig gets the card on the first round of it.
Oh no.
Okay. So this could go quite bad quite quick. Okay. The berserk pig charges Alexandra.
Oops.
Yep. Charges Alexandra, hitting him. I'm afraid to say. Literally just just trying to trample over him. Doing 6 points of damage. So Alexandra is shaken as the pig sort of barges into him. Bring us to the second round, and Alexandra gets to go first. And don't forget, guys, if you want to move up the combat tracker, just drop your cards, drop your bennies on your cards. You only need to tell me about it if you suddenly appear above where we currently are on the tracker. Okay, Alex, there seems to be a very smelly, angry pig trying to gore you at the moment. What do you do? Alex has gone very quiet. I haven't heard him for a while. So you don't realise you're muted. She did the attack roll? Yes,
roll.
it did affect.
He didn't.
Yeah. No, I was just curious if the dusk affected the pig as well, which it did. Okay, Lillian is up next.
Well, you're not the only one with chops.
I'm going to give you one for that. That's a good. Oh.
Wow. That's the way.
Really?
I like it.
Really?
Canned food.
I'm actually done food to the pig. Oh, well, I've got plenty of bennies. In fact, actually, I've got too many bennies, haven't I?
Yeah, told you I had chops.
Shoot. What have I got there? Do you know what? I don't really care. I should only have 4. I'm not sure why I had more than 4 bennies.
Because you
Okay,
probably had
'cause I'm
5
nice.
players in the party sheet.
Yeah, it looked
It
like I had
didn't
more than
turn
6
up.
though. Yeah. Unfortunately, okay, so yeah, Lillian walks up to the pig and kung fu chops it. Kung food chops it, I should say. However, the pig doesn't seem to react.
Yeah, I could have hammed that one up.
Brings us to Gary Smith.
Yep, it's definitely ham-fisted if you hit a pig. All right. So I'll swing my cricket bat. I'm going to come around here.
Yep. Go for it.
And give him a good whack on the rump.
Go for it.
Let's see. I need to go combat. And I'm swinging my cricket bat. There we go.
But with your gang up, that should hit. But I'm intrigued because actually there's been a discussion going on about gang up not working, hasn't there? So I'm just curious. I'm going to ignore.
Yeah, the gang up bonus didn't pop up, did it? So it didn't. You had to add it. Yeah.
No, but that's because you rolled fighting. But the gang up bonus is calculating without snap to grid on, so that's okay. So gang up bonus should have been 2, so that is a hit. Don't worry about the crit foul. That was me, because there's been people saying the gang up bonus isn't working for players as well, and then some people are saying it only works if you leave snap to grid on, and I just wanted to test it.
It'll work with snap to grid off. It's just that you just reduce the accuracy a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. I apologise. No, it wasn't just you saying that. Okay, so yes, Gary, you swing the cricket bat and hit the pig. Roll for damage.
That won't do.
That will not do. Kill the pig.
Sounds like it.
Oh, come on.
That's not England.
Ah,
It's not cricket.
no, it's
Not
not.
cricket, indeed. It's not cricket, indeed. Okay, that brings us to the Piggywig, who is surrounded. So I think we're going to have to. Okay, I forgot to turn that on, so you're a bit of luck there. I'm going to have to do it now. What? Once it lasts. Bloody hell. That's a bit better than Barbarian Rage, which is what I've got used to. Okay,
Wait, it says dead pig.
no such thing as dead pig.
It's a man in a costume, obviously.
The pig turns as the critic back hits it on its backside. It snorts in derision, and that's about it.
This is probably some kind of just a hoax. These are all pretend bodies.
Yeah, she's in on it and was just trying to fake us out.
David.
I'm going to walk over here and try and pull the pig's back legs off. Because it's obviously a costume. It's obviously a costume.
Okay, you're going to grapple the pig.
Yeah, I'm going to grab his back legs and pull him off here. So the costume comes off.
As opposed to they painted a pig green, which might be a little more.
No, it's definitely a pig. Well, it's attacking us. It can't be a real pig. A real pig would.
That's still my favourite bit when I did Scooby Doo for Tan, and Fred just pulled the mask off the zombie, and then basically it was holding the whole face in his hand. That was brilliant. Go for it. Grab the pig.
Athletics, is it?
Post athletics rolls, yeah. Going to pull the pig's costume off. Okay, well, you grab hold of the pig and you're pulling for all your might. The costume's obviously on very well. Do you want to make it distracted or vulnerable while you're attempting to take the costume off? It's
vulnerable,
already shaken.
yeah. Not vulnerable.
Okay, the pig is vulnerable and shaken as we enter the next round with David going first. Actually, the pig also counts as being entangled, doesn't it? Because you're grappling it.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever this costume is, it isn't coming off, and the smell coming from the pig makes you think it might actually be a pig that's just been rolling in some very unpleasant and rotten meat.
Okay. Well, I'm going to smack it with this pole then, hockey stick.
But that would mean you'd have to stop grappling it. Of course.
Oh, then I'll carry on grappling it then. I'll just carry on holding onto it. I suppose I've got to go on hold, didn't I?
You could go on hold, yes. That brings us to Gary Smith.
Right. Is it still vulnerable?
It most certainly is. It's vulnerable.
Yeah, I'm grabbing its back leg, trying to pull the costume off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for 6. What's a wild swing?
You're going to go for 6. Very nice. I like it. Go for it.
Here's my wild swing. Is that something
wild
under
attack?
Wild attack. Sorry, yeah. Wild attack is activated. There we go.
Thank you. Good, excellent.
So hit with a raise upon the pig. A wound upon the pig. Wowzers. Probably won't get better than that, will it?
No.
I feel really evil, but I am going to do it just this once because I'm a big fat meanie. Entangle doesn't actually affect soaking the wound, so I'm afraid you hit the pig, and again, it yelps and well, it doesn't yelp. It growl. It's.
Are you saying
growls
Akil's
and
got the
grunts.
got that wrong? Have you? Entangle doesn't affect token.
But I wouldn't want to program that if I'm honest, because it's an interest. No, entangled applies a -2 penalty to all trait rolls. However, when the only exception is when you make a vigor roll to soak. That is not affected by being entangled because that's just your physical fortitude.
We went to Clint Black over blind.
Yeah,
I think. So.
Yeah, we actually went and asked because we could see an argument both ways. Because obviously, if you're blinded, you can't necessarily see the attack coming, and therefore we could argue it should apply. But no, basically, soak rolls are not affected by modifiers, as it were, to trait roll modifiers. So blindness or entanglement do not affect your Lillian.
So the pig soaked it after all?
He did, because the -2 penalty for being entangled doesn't apply to the soak roll, so he actually got a 5.
But he rolled a 5.
Yes, and you did
and
one.
That's all you need to soak the wound, right? You need a 4.
Yeah. Yes, you did one wound to it, so I only need to soak because you only did one wound to the pig, which is actually that's interesting. Hang on. Oh no, that was your attack. Hang on, that was your damage roll. Toughness 8, 10.
Because he's berserk.
Yeah, no, the toughness is 10, but that doesn't make. I'm still trying to work that one out. Hang on, target score was 10.
10.
And you got
and
17.
Then 4 more is 14, and then 4 more
which is
would be 18 for the second one.
Yes,
so.
Yeah, exactly. 18. That was what I was getting my head around. Yeah, if you'd rolled an 18, you'd have done 2 wounds, and my soaking wouldn't have saved the pig. Yeah.
Okay.
I just couldn't. Once I started thinking about it, I couldn't work it out. Even though I was doubting myself there because I'm thinking, no, that's right. Yeah, Lillian, over to you.
So, has anyone drawn any blood out of this pig yet?
Yeah,
You've all hit it a few times.
I was thinking about grabbing the horns and see if you can pull it.
Oh.
Somebody could find the zipper.
Hang on a sec. There's somebody at the front door.
Okay. Okay, you hit it with your kung food. You shake the pig.
I think I'll Benny it for a laugh.
Okay.
Just to see. No, just a shake.
You didn't do the raise though, did you?
Oh yeah, he didn't hit with a raise in the first place.
Didn't he? All right.
No. That brings us to Alexandra.
Try and punch him again. He's too close for me to use my discus.
Well, he's shaking, so you can back off.
Oh, he is shaking, isn't he? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will back off and throw my discus at it.
Go for it. Oh, damn it, sorry.
No, we both did it. It's all good.
Yeah.
Come on. Hello.
Got to give yourself one ammo to throw a discus.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. You hit. You hit with the discus. Roll.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Roll for damage.
I think that should possibly be throwing skill rather than.
Sorry about that.
It should be. This goes back to that bug again, doesn't it? Or did I make it wrong?
No,
minimum strength penalty.
Must have made it ranged rather than. I'm going to let it stand for now.
Rather than thrown.
That's
I just
okay.
changed it, but either way.
Yeah. Either way, the only downside, of course, is
Yeah.
yeah. And unfortunately, the pig is unshaken. So unfortunately, the pig is now very upset.
I'm going to
with,
try and I'm going to interrupt and do my carry on shaking his leg. Yeah.
If you want to attempt to interrupt, you can just do strength. You'll just do strength damage to the pig, or you can let go or do what. It's up to you what you want to do. At the moment, it's entangled.
Well,
So it's going to start
I'm still
kicking
hanging
out
onto
to
its
try and
back
escape
legs.
you.
So when it spins round, I'm going to spin round with it.
Well, it's not really. It's not really spinning round. I was just turning it round to basically. Yeah, good point. It literally starts kicking out with its back legs on you as it's trying to break free of your grip. Is what I'm saying. So
what have I
it's
got to do?
going
Make
to
another.
No. Well,
If I want to interrupt it, I've got to do something. Haven't I? What's the interrupt roll?
if you want to interrupt it, you've got to do something. You've got to roll athletics to beat it. But to be honest, though, you don't need to interrupt it. What I would actually see do a bit of metagaming here. Don't interrupt it. Just do the opposed grapple roll first. Then, if it breaks, if it doesn't break free, then you're still holding on to it and you're on hold. But if it does break free, then it's already taken its action. Then you interrupt and take your action for this turn. Is what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying there? It's all very rather better gamey. So, okay. So basically the pig kicks you off it, so it is no longer entangled. But now, obviously, it's the last thing to act this turn, so if you now come off hold now, you can now act. What do you want to do?
I'm going to try and grab his leg again.
Go for it. See, this is where you can metagame the system slightly. Yep, you got it.
Is it? He kicked me off and I grabbed his leg again. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole point I was trying to make is because breaking free of the pig breaking free from you is okay. And do you want to make it distracted or vulnerable?
Vulnerable again, yeah.
Vulnerable it is. Apply. New round, third round, and Linian's going first. The pig is going second.
Why am I vulnerable?
Jump up there and do an elbow smash.
Because you're grappling a pig.
Ah, grappling the pig.
When you grapple someone, you are vulnerable.
So is this suit not coming off then?
No, it's really not coming
It's
off.
a well-made suit. It just doesn't come off. Maybe it really is a pig.
That's a hit, but we're going to go for the raise as well.
Okay. That's a hit with a raise upon the piggy.
Right.
Two wounds. Well, there we go. I'm not spending any more bennies on it. So, as you that with a loud crunch.
Oh, it really was a pig. Disgusting.
It sort of squeals in pain as Lillian literally sort of finally basically kicks it, and you hear a loud snapping sound.
Lucky my daddy taught me kung fu.
Well done.
Yes, indeed. Now, just before everything kicked off, David, you said you were going to check out that backpack, and you noticed there seemed to be a slip of there seemed to be a piece of silver paper just sort of sticking out of the backpack. In fact, you can see it on the ground.
We'll have a look.
There's a handwritten note on the piece of paper. Tonight we dine, Parry Basement, 33616. Parry being one of the school houses. Oh, and they are literally sort of separate houses around the school. So obviously what that means is go to the basement of Parry House and then something about a closet, 33616.
Luckily, the front door of Parry doesn't close properly.
It doesn't indeed. Well, someone's been reading their background. I'm impressed.
Okay,
It
so I'll
doesn't.
share that note with everyone else, and then let's go and investigate this and get back on the other side of that fence before anyone spots us.
Right. Yeah.
And
Good
just
idea.
let's leave these funny mannequins. Let's whoever put them out here figure it out. If we don't tell anyone, then the ruse will fail, and we won't get in trouble with the school for being outside playing with mannequins. Obviously, they're
don't
not
know.
really dead people.
Right. Let's go with that.
Yeah, definitely mannequins. Definitely not really dead people.
Did anybody tear their uniform?
Did anybody tear their uniform? I don't think anyone got hit, so they're okay on that score. You probably are looking a bit dishevelled and muddy.
I've got some pig shit on my hands, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grabbing that
Anyway,
pig's
so
tail.
you head back. You head back it towards the school. Yeah, clamber over the fence to get back inside the school
Don't know, Sam.
grounds.
Look see if it fell on the floor.
You
Or if
as
it's
you're- as
downstairs,
you're
maybe.
Can I have notice checks, please? As you're crossing back, through the southern buildings. Okay, David.
Bumblebee tuna.
There we go. So David, Gary, and Lillian, you all notice that as you're sort of moving back towards the school, you suddenly notice a red orangey glow from behind one of the buildings, and you realise that it's that's where Miss Heavishaw hides to have a quick cigarette.
What do you want,
when she's
Kat?
had an intense conversation
What are you trying
with
to say?
Mr. Jones, the PE teacher, and that usually puts her in a very bad mood. You suddenly become aware that you're walking back towards the school, looking a little dishevelled, carrying school equipment. Because fortunately, Lillian got the raise and realised who it was. What do you do?
We're on the other side of the fence
Yeah.
yet.
You're inside school grounds. Don't worry, you're inside school grounds. But basically, you saw her, but unfortunately, at the same time you saw her, she sees you walking, and she's like, "Who's there?" But she's far enough away at the moment. She hasn't worked. You're there, so you're not going to be able to escape as such. But obviously, she hasn't. Obviously, she did say anything like, "What do you do with all that stolen school property?" So you have a chance. What do you wish to do? Is what I'm
Well, we
trying to
quickly
say.
drop it on the floor, I suppose, and
Yeah, that's fine. That's what I figured. She basically
Drop it and
drops
carry on
the
walking,
cigarette,
yeah.
stamps it out, and comes over going, "You four, step forward into the light."
All right. I guess we'll step forward.
With a very regal posture,
Indeed.
Alexandria will step forward.
Because I know this is the Halloween party is tonight, and it's all hijinks and everything else, but because I really want to know why the party committee are walking around the perimeter of the school, looking rather a bit dishevelled and muddy. It's almost as if you've been rolling in mud. I dread to think what's going on there, but yes, yes.
We're,
I think I
mas-
should declare detention on all of you.
we're masquerading as
wow.
zombies.
No,
That's the theme of the party.
I'm doing my homework. I'm trying to study physical education, and I'm showing the boys where to go through the woods. And they're telling me about the bugs because I need to brush up on my biology thing.
The woods. You didn't cross the fence, did you?
No, don't be silly. I'll be against the rules.
So I'm going to say, obviously, I do like all your discussions there. So who I'm going to allow one of you to use persuasion to be the spokesperson and use persuasion or performance to convince
Not
Miss
me.
Heathershaw that.
yeah, not me either. No, not unless you want to talk about something electronical.
yeah, Alexander's got a 6.
I think you're
Butter
best
written
off.
out of my mouth.
Okay.
What's your What's
Okay,
your?
I was about to say. Okay, so basically, I'm going to So, you've already rolled, but that's okay. I'm going to say basically
Sorry.
this will be a dramatic task. So, not a dramatic task in the strictest sense. I was going to say I'm going to set a target number, and that's what you need to persuade her to not give you detention or deduct house points from you, because detention obviously means you'll be stuck somewhere for a couple of hours, which may or may not be a good thing. So everyone else has obviously helped with the description. So anyone else who wishes to assist can modify the roll you've made of a 5 there. So that would be obviously any, like I say, whenever my rule on supporting people, any skill you can justify why you should roll that in support of Alexandra persuading Miss Hevershaw not to provide you with detention and or docking of house points. Or you go with her or the 5. It's up to you. No support rolls?
No, like I
Yeah,
said, it was all.
what do I need to roll support? I
That's
can
what I'm
say
saying.
I was trying to show her show everyone the.
Well, you know how I say you do support any skill that you can. You just tell me which skill you want to use and how you can justify the fact that that can be used to help Alexandra's persuasion in not you all ending up in detention.
Well, it's like I said, it's we're walking where we're going to run on the physical education, because if we know the route, it'll be easier to run, won't it? I mean, it's like common sense, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and I was also looking at putting up some
+1.
lights as well to help, people if we have to do a night run.
Okay.
Which
What
is very
skill are you
Halloween
using?
themed.
Okay, that's a repair with a +2. That's a +2 bonus. That
And
just leaves Gary.
according to the history of Halloween, we were doing some important research on how that all relates to how we should celebrate Halloween. Just trying to do it right,
Okie dokie.
We wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of that now, would we, Teach?
She winces slightly at Teach, obviously. Oh! Are you sticking with your 3? Well, I make that a 5, 6, 7, 8 bonus so far. Okay, that's a 7 bonus, and Alexandra as having the being tied for first place with the highest help points and gets an additional 1 point bonus. So that, from my calculation, that would say that's 9 points on your persuasion roll after all modifiers, which is more than enough for her to to not offer you, not put you in detention or dock house points, but alas, 1 point short of actually earning a house point for your very persuasive argument and convincing her of something. But that's absolutely fine. She goes, yes, just be on your way and go down. And you see her walking back to the behind the building, and as you're walking away, there's a sudden flare of match light as another cigarette is lit. And at that point, I feel the need to take a quick bio break, so we might have a quick 5 minutes there, if that's okay with everyone.
Okay, yes, I'm going to get a cup of coffee.
Right back. I think my be right back's not working. No, that's gone to the wrong place. It's scary.
Yeah, some of that is scary.
You can't
But
just
at the
buy
end
them
of the-
things though.
But well, I mean, this gets interesting, isn't it? I mean, it's legal to own them, but and it's perfectly legal to own them and use them in your own home for education. You know, it's teaching
Safety
yourself
and
how to do it.
entertainment. Yeah.
Yes, but obviously, the second you take them outside and use them on another lock, unless you're it's your job and you're allowed to do it, as it were, then it gets interesting. But yeah,
Yeah, but that applies to lots of things.
yes,
You know, you could. I mean, you can own a hammer, and you can carry a tool.
Most
with
front doors will just give in with one good kick.
yeah, I know. But at the end of the day, the whole point of locks and all
Are you
those sorts
suggesting
of
we
things.
regulate legs?
Yeah, regulate legs. Yeah.
At the end of the day, the whole point of locks and all of it and the fact they're so easy to pick is it's not that, it's the fact someone has to take the time to get past it, isn't it? They're meant to be they're a deterrent for a lot of people. They won't stop anyone who's really determined to get in, but at the same time, it might not slow them down very much, depending on.
So what you do is you have let them get in the front door, and then you have shotguns in the hall. Boom, problem solved. Or a turret, auto turret.
Doesn't work in this country though, does it?
An auto turret, like in that place we burgled in Sprawl Runners. You know.
Well,
Believe it or not, that's even a line too far in America. There was a specific court case where somebody did that and they got in trouble. So
Yeah, you could
Yeah,
always argue
I
the
get-
castle
I get-
defence.
I get all my legal advice from The Simpsons, and in that he says once they're in your house, you can pretty much do anything to them. Then he goes to invite Ned Flanders and goes, "No, you
Well-
can't invite them in."
well, yeah, that kind of is the case.
Yeah. Whereas in this country, if you want to, if someone breaks into your house, the safest way to use an offensive, an offensive weapon on them is to use the weapon they brought with them. So first you've got to get it off them, and then if you use it on them, that can not always, but is the best chance of getting reasonable force. Because obviously, well, they brought it, I used it to defend myself. But
Yeah, I actually had a cop tell me that if you shoot somebody that's breaking into your house and he falls in the doorway, drag him in just a couple of inches so that he's at least halfway in your house.
yeah, that does make sense. But yeah, it's all interesting stuff. Well, like in this country, if you walk down the street with a baseball bat, it's an offensive weapon. If you walk down the street with a baseball bat and a ball, obviously, in a sense, in a reasonable hour. Obviously, if you're doing it in the middle of the night, then I think you'd have a harder time explaining it. But if you've got a bat and a ball, and it's and it's reasonable that this is the case, you're obviously off to the park to play a game, aren't you? If you don't have that ball on you, you're in trouble. I mean, in this country, the English pistol shooting team cannot train in the UK. It would be illegal for them to fire pistols in the UK. We'll be waiting on.
Lots of fun.
I don't know.
A law had to be passed for the 2012 Olympics to allow pistol shooting events in this country. Because pistols are illegal unless they're black powder and at a range. I've only got 3 ticks there, so we're still obviously we're probably waiting on someone.
I've ticked.
It's me. I'm just
That's fine.
sitting here.
That's absolutely fine.
eating my
Right.
meal.
So, okay, having
What are you doing
avoided
there?
Miss Havershaw, you are able to continue onwards. Obviously, she's gone back. She's paying no attention to you. So,
Okay,
obviously, if you want to wander back and pick up your sporting equipment, there's a good chance she won't spot you.
For sure.
If any
Oh,
of you,
absolutely.
indeed, if any of you are more stealthy than others, you might want to send them back, or if you're feeling confident, you can all make your stealth rolls.
So are we sneaking?
Oh, it depends if you want to sneak back or not. You just needed success. Don't. She won't. She's not actively playing. As long as you critically fail, you'll be able to do it. But as I say, Gary obviously makes a bit of a mess of it. But I'll be lenient, so that's okay. So you pick up your equipment and head on your way. Her notice rolls. The reason for what I'm trying to say is, although you fail your stealth roll, she fails a notice roll as well. Unless you critically fail, she won't notice you.
Survival. I think I should roll stealth.
It's okay. I'm just waiting for that crit fail on the whole.
know,
There we go.
Stealth is quite low.
So, okay, picking up your equipment, you give Miss Havershaw a wide berth, and you basically.
I gave her a wide berth.
What's your plan? What are your plans?
Well, I think we need to go to Who's What's It House and.
Yes,
see
we need
what's
to go
going
to the
on
place.
Right. Yep.
Parry Basement, closet at 33616.
Okay. Okay. By the time you get back into, by the time you head over to Parry House, you can hear that. You can hear that you can see everyone's heading over. Most people are heading over to the. Well, actually, it sounds like it. Oh, sorry, I'll rephrase that. I've got my time scales muddled up. As you head towards Parry House, you notice that it's relatively, the whole school seems relatively empty. That's when you hear music coming from the concert hall. It would, judging by it sounds like Viagra Manifesto, even without their front man, are obviously still performing their routine. In fact, later on, it turns out that apparently, given that the front men, Bedsheet and Viagra Manifesto, put aside their differences, and they apparently formed a super group called Viagra in Bed. So, and apparently, as you find out later on, because obviously you're not there at the moment, that Davy Parry ends up being the front guy for the new band. And they're having by the moment, it sounds like they're actually doing they're doing a punk emo version of an ABBA song. But it seems to be going down right. So it means getting into Parry House is relatively straightforward.
Punk emo, so they're doing jam covers. This is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Indeed. They they head downwards. You head downwards into the basement area, and that's where you find. There's more than there's like most of the schools. There's numerous closets in the basement, and it doesn't take you long to find the closet in question. It has a combination lock on it.
Somebody left this thing. Somebody didn't lock it properly. I give it a good tug in the way I know how.
Or you
the
could
lock
use
that
yeah. Okay. Well, after fiddling around with it with that roll, which is absolutely interesting, you enter 33616, and the door unlocks, and it reveals that it is not a closet at all, but in fact a door revealing a staircase leading into a sub basement, and a further basement level, I should say. A set of stairs leading down.
I look to the left and I look to the right and I say, how did they lock that behind them? Oh, well. And I'll just go on in.
Well, I imagine it's the first. Yeah. Okay. That actually all makes sense in a minute. But yes, I have no idea either.
More to the point, what happens if somebody locks it after we go in?
Yes, that is what I was worried about.
Indeed. I didn't write the adventure. The one I was going to write, I got so far in and I didn't get to finish it in time, so I decided to run.
Oh, this isn't all yours? I thought it was. I thought the whole.
Oh no! This one comes with the Bartington Hall's mini setting, as it were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Oh, I will do. I have to admit, actually, I am enjoying. I like that. I've realised I can have so much fun with the setting. And now having run it now, yeah, the adventure I was going to do before will happen, but I'm going to tweak it because it'll fit better. So
we were going to be prime minister. Were we supposed to fuck the pig earlier?
Dark mirror. Anyway, okay. As you head down the stairs. Oh, I'd forgotten about that. Now you put that image back in my head to save Princess Samantha. Okay. The staircase opens out onto a very opulent underground room. You get as you walk in, you just get the presence of sort of tradition and sort of upper class pretentiousness, as it were. Obviously, the place is ostentatiously decorated in with all the cliched stuff you'd expect in some sort of secret dining club. There's a long oval table with many gold-rimmed seats on either around it. It's laid out with silver dining ware. But there's no food on the table, and on the walls are several mounted rapiers. Would appear you have found at the supper club.
I see. More of these pretenders.
You what?
They're pretending to be royalty. This would never pass.
Right. I'm going to go get a rapier.
Okay. You can hear. As I say, as you're standing at the stairs looking at the room, you can see at the other side of the room are a set of double doors. There seems to be light coming from underneath it, and there does seem to be some sort of murmuring or some talking going on from the other room. So.
Oh, I don't know what goes on here. Paddy doesn't allow girls.
We won't tell anyone.
So the question I ask myself is: are you just going to boldly wander into the room and pick up a rapier, or are you going to try and do it quietly?
Oh, I see. The room with the rapier is where the chanting's coming from.
No. But obviously, it's an old building with lots of creaky floorboards, perchance.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I will use stealth.
Go for it. No problem at all. So you're going to head over to the wall and take down one of the pair of rapiers. Is that?
Well, if there's a pair, I'll take them both down and I'll bring one back in case somebody else wants one.
Yo, hello, Drake.
I think rapiers are already in here, aren't they? They are indeed on the party sheet. We should put a rapier and then a second rapier. There we go. You bring back two rapiers.
Just making money for Twitch. Don't worry about it.
But why you really want
Amazon
a
needs
truly
money for
offensive weapon is I do not know. So, there definitely seems to be some sort of rhythmic repetition to the noise coming from the room opposite.
What kind of or dancing?
No. It's just people talking, but there seems to be some sort of. It seems to be quite rhythmic and repeating itself.
I'm going to stick my ear to the door and have a listen then.
But it's all supposed to be an initiation ceremony, isn't it? Because people are joining the club, and they've obviously taken them out in the woods and they scale them with the piggies, and then they come back and go.
Okay, it's not dusk anymore, is it? Indoors.
Oh, good point. Sorry, thank you.
Not that it makes any difference to a free, but I can Benny it at least.
Well, it's a question. You've got to get across the room. Okay. Listen, you walk quietly across the room. I'll be nice. Garrett, obviously, I'll assume that it was a quick.
I followed the footsteps of the thingy.
Well, I will allow that notice roll for that. If you want to make another notice roll, you can make a stealth roll to get across the room quietly.
Right.
Okay, Gary's back across the room along with David. That just leaves Lydian and Alexander on the other side of the room. Okay, listening at the door, you can hear sinister sounding chanting.
What's sinister about it?
I don't know. Well, just the very nature of it. Probably they're I think they're
They're doing it with their left hand.
well, actually, Dark Lord of Fate, give this country to our brother Archie.
Archie. Archie.
And
Archie,
they're
the
mentioning
head master,
sacrifice
or
and
the
blood.
head prefect.
Yeah. Well, we definitely have to stop that. Maybe I just need to go in there and he won't see me while I stab him.
Oh, Archie's not that bad a comic.
All right. So what do we do?
Oh, right. Oh, I can't. That didn't work. Hang on. Sorry. Typos.
Well, aren't we
Again?
supposed to get the news reporter to get up on stage? She just wants to get up on stage to give a report, I suppose. I mean, we just want to get the band members back, that's it, really. But they're probably went out to the woods and had their initiation party thing with Piggy.
I have a feeling I know what Archie's announcement's going to be. Something tells me.
Damn it.
I think we need to interrupt this ritual.
I mean, I take it we just go in and tell the bands they've got to go. We need them for the Halloween, and that's us. We're done.
All right, let's do that.
I hope you could do a very good roll on this door, because as you try and open it, it doesn't move. It is locked.
I need that roll I rolled earlier.
Or someone could break the door down. Obviously, no problem at all. You are
What?
able to pick.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
No, I misread it. I thought it was I misread it. It was toughness 8 for the door.
But not the lock.
It's but not the lock. I misread it the first
Alright.
time round.
Fair enough.
Okay, I'm going to share the map. Obviously, you've unlocked the door. Hang on.
Invalid matrix in set transform.
Did you get that? There we go.
I've got some errors.
Uh-oh.
But it could be because I'm running beta and you're not. You're in test.
That could well be the case.
I
think unfortunately,
forgot to change
Anyway,
our systems.
so I shall open the doors so you can experience it. There we go. And
Welcome to the Matrix.
okay,
That's
the room is lit by candles all over the walls. A large group of pupils stand in black robes with silver pig masks over their faces. In the middle, bound tightly on, well, I know it says an altar, but I made it a pentacle instead. Bound tightly onto a pentacle is the struggling form of Tiffany Van Lloyd. Oh, Jimmy Monk has just disappeared.
It's all right. I'm still listening. I'm just going to reboot in a non-test
That's
mode.
okay. Dark Lord of Fate, they chant, give this country to our brother Archie. At the head of the altar stands a taller man in a gold mask. He raises a long dagger over his head. What do you do?
Okay, so it's not band practice?
No, I think this is a real thing. This is not no bloody practice. I'm going to run forward towards the guy with the knife.
Okay, you do get to react first because you made your stealth rolls to get across the room and you didn't critically fail getting her hair, so I shall put them, obviously. Whoops, these names wrong. Let's fix that. And Jimmy Monka is connecting. We shall. So, Lydian gets to go. As I say, Lydian, you get the 10 of hearts.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. No. You've announced your intention, which is absolutely fine. But it would appear that Lydian was faster off the mark than you. What are you going to do?
They're all chanting. Is that Mr. Braithwaite?
Well, you can't tell because he's got a gold mask on, but I shall be share that up.
I'm going to go on hold.
Okay, Lydian is going on hold. Alexandra?
Is Mr. Braithwaite, whatever his name, is he like a little bit higher up than the club member in front of him?
He's taller. The club members are all down on one knee. I'm not sure if you can tell that from the token, but they're all down on
Okay.
one knee.
That
He
tells
obviously
me what
I
I need
chopped.
to know.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
chopped his
step to
legs off.
here.
He's standing. Yeah.
And hold on, maybe I'm going to step a little closer. Let's
Do you
step
like this map? It's the
there.
first map I made in Dungeon Alchemist. Is it Dungeon Alchemist? The AI based map. I ripped it all out of it and then put the pentacle on with a bit of photoshopping. But anyway.
And I'm going to throw my discus into his face.
Nice. Yes. Do
Go
the
for it.
Casey Jones stuff. Yeah.
Actually, if you really zoom in, you can even see I gave him a bone sacrificial dagger. I'm quite proud of that. Did you forget to pick it up?
Yeah, no, I picked it up. I just forgot to enter it in.
I'm teasing you, mate. I'm teasing.
I think I want to Benny that.
Okay. Ooh.
Not quite. Come on, guys. Let's do this. I really need this to hit.
Perhaps you should do a spin
There
as you
we
run
go.
up.
Oh, still failed. Crying out loud.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable. Hang on, why is it minus?
Why are you
oh,
minus
sorry,
5?
Well,
Min strength penalty.
That would be -1, but then I imagine it's the range as well, isn't it? Actually, discus should go far. Hang on, I'm going to retcon that. It wouldn't have affected any of your other rolls, I don't think. I'm going to retcon that. Let's have a look. What did I? Because that's 7 inches. I'm thinking about it. A disc. I obviously.
Yeah, discus goes quite far.
A discus goes quite far, so I'm just going to
retcon
the ranges. I'm going to retcon the ranges, which means your last roll there with the Benny would actually be, which you rolled which you actually rolled a 3, would actually be a 5 because it's short range, not medium range. Which means obviously you originally were going to be about there, weren't you? Which is still short range now. So go for it.
Yeah, if that's still short range, that's where I'll go and throw it at him.
Yeah, no, sorry, I wasn't thinking straight when I'd set it up because discuses are designed to glide better than hand grenades, as it were. So I'll make it. I meant to double the range.
Okay, so let's get some good damage.
Yo.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Okay, now I'm just going to have to retcon something there because Mr. Braithwaite should be a wild card, even though. Oh, is he meant? No, he isn't. I remember thinking that when I did the adventure, thinking that's strange. Okay, so you wound him. I'll see if I can soak that. I can, I'm afraid, but it was a good round, and it did cost me a Benny. I picked it up on the wrong pile, so I need to put my Benny down from the GM pile because I illegally used the Benny from the endless pile. But that cost me a Benny. Yeah, so he barely. I mean, you hit it. You basically just as you go to throw the discus, he stumbles slightly as he's stepping forward with the knife. And unfortunately, it's just enough for the discus just to fly over his head at the last second. Sorry. Oh, my word. Gary's moving fast. Actually, I forgot to put line of sight in on the pillars, but that's okay. I didn't do any line of sight on this map. It was all pre-done.
All right. Let's make with the stabby.
Make with the stabby. So I just want to clarify something here. You are using a lethal weapon on a teacher.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know he's a teacher yet, in all fairness. That's fine.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
I should have actually made him non-ID, but Fancy Grounds gets a little funny about targeting non-IDs, doesn't it? Okay, so you run up to the guy in the golden mask with the impressive looking with the bowed sacrificial dagger and stab
Calculating.
him with a rapier.
And think about sacrifices.
Well, yeah,
Getting ready to stab somebody.
Yeah.
Right. So I miss?
you're using
not
fighting
target
rather than. No, either you didn't target him or you rolled fighting. Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you must not target him. You hit him with a raise. Should have made him more cards to make the fight go longer, but I don't think he's surviving that one. I'm going to have to spend my last penny to see if he survives. That didn't do
Killed
the
a
damage.
teacher.
You don't know he killed a teacher yet.
It's all right. It'll all be good.
Oh! He parries your rapier thrust at the last second with the sacrificial dagger.
Oh, I'm trying to get the
However,
front door.
Mr. GM is out of beddies. David. He just said he had to get the front door, didn't he? I'll put him on hold. I'm going to end the turn unless you want to act, Lillian.
Ba-da-ba-bee-ba-ba-ba-ba. What am I going to do?
So you're back from the front door already.
Yeah, that was super quick.
Lillian and David, off you go. Before I deal the next round of cards, I'll take the bad guy. I'll take the bad guys. Yes, they are bad guys, aren't they? They're red.
Yeah. Lillian will rush in and try and free Tiffany. Was Tiffany tied down?
Tiffany is tightly bound down. Yes.
Then my action will be to try to untie Tiffany.
Okay. That's. So I'm going to say. Yeah. You're going to need. Make an athletics roll. What are you doing, David?
I think I'll help with
Are you
Tiffany
assisting?
as well, yeah.
Okay, so basically, okay, that's fine. I'll take athletics rolls from both of you. Okay, Lillian, you succeed in
Zim.
removing. Oh, but yep, no problem at all. 4 successes between the two of you. Tiffany is unbound. Congratulations. Next round begins. Oh dear, the bad guys get to go first. Okay, now it should be mentioned these ones you do recognise as class members, and they do not appear. They are appearing to attack you unarmed as they punch you, Gary. He hits you.
Okay.
It's one of the. I mean, you come to expect it from these upper class twits. It is, the hit comes in. It looks rather good, and he's holding his hands up, and he's obviously knows the proper Queensberry rules. But it hits you with all the force of a damp tissue.
Don't bend your wrist, just
What are you talking about, bro?
swat.
Kai, what are you talking about?
Who's left an arrow on the thingy that really mucks up my targeting? In fact, the only fact they got Joker bonuses is the only reason you guys might be in trouble right now. It has to be said. That's interesting.
Oh, brilliant. You're up here again straight away.
There we go. Just thinking it didn't let me shortcut it. I'm going to. Oh, he's going to come over. Oh, no, he's going to beat up David with a punch. That's a miss. This one's going to come and beat up Lillian. That's a miss. You can tell how impressively dedicated these guys, trained these guys are in the martial arts. Maybe this one's a good one. Yeah, this one unfortunately obviously hits Lillian from behind as she's still untying Tiffany, but it has no real effect. This one comes around there and doesn't get any further, and this one comes over here to beat up Alexander. This one actually snarls evilly as he recognises Alexandra and sort of says "quack quack" as he swings. But which does actually the absolute I've forgotten the right word. Anyway, you're actually quite incensed by the insult, and it obviously takes you aback for a second there, Alexandra. And you're hit, and the last one punches you in the kidneys from behind, Gary. And it looks like it might be a nasty. Yes, I'm afraid it's a good hit. This one, it got you right in the kidneys. It's not lethal, of course, but
I bet I can shake that.
Powerful.
Yes, I can.
Yes, you can. And at the last second, you realise out of the corner, you see out of the corner of your eye this guy rushing over, and you literally turn the punch aside. So it
come in and
misses
sort your
you.
beard out. So,
And brings us to
I fixed
Tiffany.
the bag. She fixed my beard. Yeah.
Brings to Tiffany, who basically throws off the shackles and thanks you for unfreeing her, and then she places a kick at the
don't sign up for the army if they declare to have World War III.
Doesn't do any good, but it makes her feel better. In the meantime, now Mr. Braithwaite, for he's angry, and you recognise the tone of voice and that slight Spanish accent he uses, even though he's English. And he turns the sacrificial dagger on you, going, "The dark one will have to be happy with your blood, Smith." And he tries to stab at you, hitting you with the sacrificial dagger. Oh dear.
Bastard.
This looks like it, but this might be a little more painful, I'm afraid. Yeah, 2 whole wounds, I'm afraid to say.
Alright, here goes with the soaky.
Very good roll, I'm afraid to say. You soak one of them, but you will take 1 on that, but you can try again if you want.
Oh, I can. Oh, you mean.
You can try again to see if you can get better, or you'll take a single wound as the dagger just barely cuts across you, probably cutting your blazer.
Shit.
Oh dear. Okay.
Oh.
That's unfortunate. Okay, I'm afraid to say. I'm afraid to say he skewers you, and you cry out in pain, and it shall go next.
So I take 2 wounds. Is that right?
You take 2 wounds. Unfortunately, the shock of the dagger actually piercing you, and the satisfaction.
No, he's got a school badge on his blazer that's just been ripped off.
Brilliant, nicely done. No damage taken at all.
Well
Gary.
done. Oh, thank you, Gary.
Okay, sorry. So as
Excuse me, who was
that? So it's an adventure card. Yeah, don't forget your adventure cards. Lillian used hers just the right time. You basically he snarls thinking he skewered you, and basically then what happens is basically, Gary, I'm afraid to say your phone. You basically realise you see the dagger. I'll get my words in here. You see the dagger plunge into your breast pocket of your blazer, and then you realise you're not feeling the pain. And after a few seconds, as the dagger comes out, you notice there's no blood, but you have a horrible feeling. He stabbed your phone.
Okay, we're good.
Over to you, Mr. Smith.
He just created a bomb, didn't he? I locked the phone in the middle of the room. No. Right. I'll have you. And I stab him again.
Go for it.
Shit.
We're not targeting him, that would help.
Yeah, I need to do that. But
that's it. You have
in
one
general,
and only 1 penny left. Do you wish to hold on to it?
No. Yeah, I'm going to hold on to it. I got plans for next round.
I think you might be playing your adventure card, mightn't you?
Yep.
Lillian and Nakadami.
Nakadami.
Oh. Right.
You have a turtle's head.
I think
I
you
am a turtle head.
could take that, you ruffian.
Okay. Oh, multi-action.
Please tell
Okay.
me you hit him with your purse when you said that.
Okay, you punch the first one. You punch the first one, shaking him with your cum food.
And you can take that, you ruffian.
I assume you're doing non-lethal damage here. Was that lethal or non-lethal damage?
Well, it was slapping and pulling hairs, and
That's what I figured.
and to be honest, it was mostly headbutting people and then kicking them when they're down.
That's absolutely fine. I'm just making sure it was non-lethal, so he is therefore knocked out and not permanently injured in any particular way.
Okay, so this is kung fu. Was that burger blows instead of body blows?
I'll give you one for that. I like it.
Gave him a fist sandwich. A knuckle sandwich. Damn it!
I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant.
Damn it! Man. Well,
I'll give you one anyway because I knew what you meant, and you need him after that crit fail. Mr. Smith. Sorry, Miss Alexandra d'Alsace. Alsace, I should say.
Well, this guy's walked up to me, so let's go ahead and punch him.
Okay.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
That's very good.
This fancy dress
That
party
brings
is really quite interesting, isn't it?
Tiffany's saying, I knew they were up to no good, but I never expected this. And that man in the mask is Braithwaite. I know that because as he turned before the chanting started, he looked at me and said, "This is revenge for my geranium."
Ah.
We've got to get out of here. Anyway, over to you, David.
Okay, I'm just going to join in the fun and the games and punch this person next to me that seems to be.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I got the Joker bonus because that really hampered you. Oh, that's nice. You got a gang. You hit him with the gang up. Oh, I think this is enough. Probably another knockout coming here. Look at that.
oh boy!
What fun! The way you went down like I hit you is good.
Invulnerable? Oh no, not invulnerable because you're already non-lethal. So yeah, you knock him out. Down he goes. Knocked out. That's the end of the round. Oh, look at that! The good guys, the Halloween party committee got the joke, got the
I'm
beggars.
also doing this.
Okay. Yeah,
Why
you're
is it
playing your
blank?
card, aren't you?
How do I play it?
You literally just drag it and drop it in the chat.
That's what I'm doing.
That's okay. I can do it.
You're doing it wrong. Not working.
Yeah, I know.
If it's not working, you're doing it wrong.
So, okay. So, obviously, Gary Smith having playing that as if you have the Joker, that means you'll get the Joker trait bonus. Which I think the idea is you can drag that before you roll. You can drag that and drop it on the modifier box, if that makes sense. So it adds to anything you roll this round. And obviously, although it shows you on the 6 of Hearts, you now have a Joker, and therefore you can act at any time. But
Right, I'll let Alexander go first.
yeah, Alexander, you are up first.
I'll try and punch him again.
Okay, go for it.
Bada bing.
I said I am a lover.
Alas, Alexander, you basically that's a terrible thing to have him on a Joker as well, isn't it? Unfortunately, he ducks effectively, and you overbalance yourself, leaving yourself exposed and vulnerable.
All right, I'll go.
Okay, go for it. Be my guest.
And I'm just putting a +2 in there. I don't see a joker bonus in the modifier list.
Oh, did it? Oh no, did it not show it in the chat underneath the card? Sorry. It's okay. Go for it.
Well, there's a.
Yeah, just put a +2 in. Don't worry about it. Maybe actually, what I'm supposed. I just realised what I'm. I wonder if it's actually a modifier bonus, and I can do. No, because it treats it as damage. Yeah, just put a +2 and off you go.
Okay. I'll stab the teacher. I'll stab the teacher.
Just don't critically fail. You hit Mr. Braithwaite. Roll for damage.
There we go.
Okay, and you didn't add the Joker bonus in, so that's actually 20 points of damage. So basically, you stab Mr. Braithwaite, and down he goes. I do want to turn on something. Where is it? Not defeated markers. Might as well turn those off because they don't work. Still, damn it! I want to put on the auto roll incapacitation for all, because obviously when I delete him I want to see what happens to Mr. Braithwaite. Oh, it didn't do it. Oh well, I'll do it manually. Where's Mr. Braithwaite? That's so annoying. That got me a console error there. Oh, that's because of that. Yes. Vigor roll. Oh, you're okay. Mr. Braithwaite, you didn't kill Mr. Braithwaite. He will basically, he's down and out of the fight, clutching his wounded side and lying on the floor, but he will survive the encounter. Okay. Spirit check. Okay, unfortunately, this supper club member isn't necessarily the brightest of the bunch because he decides to punch you for attacking Mr. Braithwaite and doesn't do anything. Let's see what this one does. Oh, they're all stupid. That's a miss. This one. Do you know what? I think they realise they're in so much trouble, they're determined to stay.
Are you called a supper club because we're going to eat your lunch?
So David gets punched, but again, it doesn't take any effect. Spirit roll.
Punch me? Who punched me?
This one is the one that Tiffany tried to kick, so he comes up to try and punch Tiffany, going, "No girls allowed."
Oh,
and
boy.
Besides, I was looking forward to eating you later. That's a hit. Even the others look back in horror at that. As you get the impression that they don't necessarily resort to cannibalism, but they're obviously sacrificing teenage girls is perfectly acceptable. I think I've hit you, Gary. It's that kidney puncher again. He's done it again. Okay, it's non-lethal damage, so it goes away at the end of the fight. But basically, you get you get a sharp pain in your back as you're punched from behind. Tiffany is next. She is absolutely incensed and swings back, missing. That brings us to Gary, who remains shaken unless you want to spend a penny to unshake.
No.
Oh, hang on! You got the Joker bonus. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you've acted this round anyway, actually, so it doesn't matter. Sorry, Lillian. I'll be nice and let you unshake anyway because I'm nice like that because I made the mistake. Lillian, over to you.
Oh, well, if I got the Joker bonus, that's still only a vigor of 6, so it's still only 1 wound. Right, I need to get a raise.
Yes, but also on the shaken roll, you got a +2 as well, which is what I forgot. So yeah. Lillian's not talking, but she's wildly attacking. Lillian's obviously upset at this moment.
Well, I did like your comment about girls.
Okay, that's a hit with a raise. I think he's in trouble.
Can a boy
He's out-
doing that?
now it does it. Obviously, I've got to turn that on beforehand, but that's okay. He's knocked out. And that, last but not least, brings us to David.
Okay, well, I'm just going to carry on punching these people up. Seems like a lot of fun.
Go for it.
Ah, booger. Well, I'm going to do it again. Because I've got that hesitant bonus thing, whoever it is. Not the other one, the other thing. The calculating. Ah,
yes.
Booger. So I get to second attack without a penalty. But I'm going to penny the second one. Ah, right, okay, I missed. I tried to join in the fun, but I all missed.
Well, hang on, no. Calculating lets you
Ignore penalties. Yeah, so multi-action.
Yeah. Oh, for multi-action. I was going to say, because a single attack would have actually worked on your 5.
On a 5?
You're calculating. You rolled a 5 on your fighting skill unarmed.
Yeah, so he should have been 5 on that one as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
No, but I'm unskilled at fighting, so it's -2 in it. But I ignores penalties. But I was doing a multi-action.
But that's an unskilled. We didn't say you were doing multi-action, so I'm quite content to. You didn't put in the multi-action, so.
Yeah.
But then it would have been -4, and it shouldn't have been because it's only -2. You see.
I'm trying to cut you a break here.
Oh, you want me? Okay. Well, you can let me knock one of them out if you want.
Yeah, I do. Go for it.
Oh, I'm going to knock one out.
If you don't make it a multi-action, then you're negating your penalty for fighting, and therefore you're not rolling your fighting at -2, and therefore you got a 5, and therefore you hit. Try to do a multi-action on top of that. It's just crazy. Fair enough.
Oh well, not enough to hurt him.
Not enough to hurt him, but you did hit him. Oh, for crying out loud! Will these guys please stop getting better cards than you lot? Okay, I'm going to punch. Let's play punch Gary. Let's play punch.
Let's play punch the Gary game.
Let's play
Punching Gary.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that. I like it, punching Gary. Okay, well, the guy that you hit is obviously a better puncher than you, David, because he hits you back. But obviously, well, I was about to say not much better, but he does catch you one on the chin, and your head, your head goes flying back.
We're only supposed to be pulling punches.
Okay, he doesn't knock your glasses off your face. You're lucky. Otherwise, we have to have the "where are my glasses" moment.
He would hit a fellow with glasses.
He would.
Can't believe he hit me. I thought we were playing.
And kidney puncher, as I'm going to call him, is next. That brings us to you, Mr. Smith.
Right, you. And I turn around.
Roll their spirit checks, but anyway, go for
it. There we go.
It doesn't really work with these icons, does it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I fall over.
And I'm going to punch him.
Landing on my head.
So actually, I'll drop the rapier. Can I do non-lethal with the cricket bat?
Didn't we drop the cricket
Being
bats?
a blunt instrument, yes. By default, you can switch to non-lethal without penalty.
That's what I'll do. I'll drop the rapier and I'll grab the cricket bat.
Yeah, I'm going to assume, for argument's sake, that you've been holding the cricket bat in your left hand and using the rapier in your right hand. So it's literally drop and transfer and swing. Yeah.
Thought I had it on my back within the sports bag.
Oh, good point. Yes. So you just reach behind you and pull it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was a baseball bat, you could have said batter up, but because it's cricket, you can't.
That's right.
Go for it.
There we go.
Okay. You hit with a raise with your cricket bat, so roll for damage. And I'll mark it non-lethal, of course.
Yeah, these are surely these are unarmed defenders as well.
They should be. Not going that in, is it? Oh, I thought I'd done. Right, it only matters to him because the rest of you are as well, aren't they?
Except me. That's the way I noticed because it doesn't apply to me.
I'll remember in future. It only gives you a bonus on the hit, not the damage, doesn't it?
That's much more satisfying.
It's all equal. So it affects both sides.
Yeah, exactly. He's knocked out. That brings us to Alexander d'Alsace. D'Alsace, I should say.
Yeah.
Shabba-ding,
I honestly don't know what I'm
shabba-ba-doo.
doing. But I am keeping him busy for everybody else.
Yes, you are keeping busy for everyone else. Tiffany Van Lloyd is up next. Well, actually, she's going to sort of back over to this corner here, up to the pillar, and sort of put her back against it, so she's out of the way. David unshakes successfully. Do you have to get less than a 5 to use hesitant, or is it 5 or less?
Good
Calculating. I'm thinking of
calculating. Yeah.
Aye, I think so.
5 or less, so you can basically negate your fight. You give yourself a +2 fighting bonus if you wish to.
I'm going to punch him.
You've obviously, because you've obviously been watching his fighting technique and realised he favours his right side, leaving his left side exposed. And that's a hit. You punch him, and he's quite taken aback that you actually managed to hit him with such force.
Did I knock his glasses off?
Unfortunately, he's not wearing glasses. However, you did split his lip, and he's surprised. That brings us to Lillian.
Oh, my arrow's gone to pass my turn.
Shut up. Shut it. So one shot, off we go. Right, if you're attacking number 2, he's an unarmed defender. Off you go. Actually, they can all be unarmed defenders because those of you that are unarmed attackers have the unarmed defender on your attack. So they're all unarmed defenders now. That's another one knocked out. Lillian is just basically. Oh, he's not bleeding out. That should be non-lethal. Oh, you obviously, yeah.
And then I'm going to move after that.
Okay. Seeing Gary upside down.
Yeah, why is Gary upside down? That person must have punched him.
Seeing Gary upside down reminds me of back when we first started using Fantasy Grounds back in version 1.0 days. And obviously, when we first started out, all you had were the letter tokens. So what I used to do was, we're playing D20 back then. What I used to do was, obviously, when you killed one of them, I'd turn the letter upside. Yeah, I'd put the letter upside down. And so we had an amusing day where it was like, oh, the players were going, oh my god, the O just won't die. And also the W, when the W turned over because it was William, they freaked out. And goes, oh look, William's down, but Mike's here now.
It's a good thing you didn't use binary to label all the monsters.
Oh gosh, yeah, that would have been. Good old days. Okay, that looks like Benny's are going all over the place again. So Gary's up first.
Yes, lovely.
Yeah.
Why can't I drag in turn?
You can't drag into turn, unfortunately, to a function key. People have tried.
Okay. There's a way to do it because I've done it elsewhere, but I don't remember. Maybe it's.
It might not be in the Savage World rule set.
I see.
We couldn't work out how to do it. We did try the other week.
I turn around and say, I think you need to take the silly point position.
Go for it.
I don't know.
I shall target.
But what are you going to do?
That's a hit with a raise.
Non-lethal.
doing vulnerability when non-lethal. It should be non-lethal. So down he goes with a, and he's knocked out.
And can I run?
You certainly can.
Right. I am raising it above my head and yelling as I run at him.
Okay, I shall be a good boy. Let you people do the end turn, seeing as other people get in my complain when I do it.
Yes. Don't know why. I'm going to punch this bod that I punched again. But I got a plus 2 from the Joker.
I think I might have an effect for that. Was it 3 wounds? If this does what I think it does, I think it will perfectly sum up Gary's attack on him. I was wrong. I thought it was going to be a different one. I thought it was going to be the dong. Oh, I thought it was this one. Sorry. I pressed the wrong key. See, that's why I don't bother with sound effects. Half the time. Oh my word! David has just knocked someone out.
Very nice, David.
Oh, he tried to knock my glasses off. Not even playing properly. Not even playing fairly. Oh, actually, but I'll walk over to the other side of this bod, number 7, and then my turn.
Okay, that brings us to Tiffany. Basically, with both of them down, Tiffany runs back to the center of the room and starts kicking the unconscious boys in the crotch. Alexander,
kick him in the nuts.
Yeah, she's kicking him in the nuts repeatedly, and muttering stuff under her breath. That's a hit. That's the last one knocked out.
Apparently, I'm not a fighter, but when I do hit, I really hit.
Evidently so. I shall unlock token movement. So, I would say Mr. Braithwaite is bleeding, but he will recover if you know. But anyway, once everything calms down and Tiffany sort of finishes kicking every unconscious boy she can in the groin, including Mr. Braithwaite.
I'll kick him in the nuts. No, I think he's a bit of a twat. Yeah. While he's bleeding.
She thanks you. She thanks you for helping out. She seems very perplexed. It's like she keeps going. I seem to genuinely believe this was a real occult ritual that would make Archie rule the country one day. Apparently, Archie is doing something himself at the concert. I don't know what it is, but it can't be good. It must be something to do with that question.
Oh, we got to get back there because he's said he's got to do something after the concert. So we got to pull the mic before he can. That's where I come in handy. I'm the electrician.
Can I have common knowledge rolls, please? Gary, you get +2 bonus on that roll.
Oh,
everyone else.
I don't know if we're still going to let Tiffany speak on the microphone and then we pull it.
We don't let him speak. We'll pull the mic. Yeah, I can do that. I can hack the mic so it makes him sound like a Boris Johnson
robot.
Okay.
We don't have our robot playing though, do we?
Okay, Dave. Lillian doesn't know what's going on, but the rest of you do you remember a while back Archie was walking around the school handing out a questionnaire. Where is it? I've forgotten what it was.
What was the questionnaire?
Basically all of the pupils that were here on scholarships and therefore, and obviously passed as the plebs.
You mean like Gary?
Yes, like Gary. Gary did fill out the questionnaire, which is why I got the bonus on it. They had to fill out a questionnaire several months ago. At the time, it was assumed it was on behalf of the school board, where you all had to fill it out, saying whether you were finding yourselves well included in the school. At the end of the questionnaire, there was a place to sign, and underneath it was apparently the old school motto in Latin.
Right. Who speaks Latin?
Yeah, so let me take a look at that. What is?
You don't have the questionnaire on you. It was all handed back in.
I'll try and translate it for him.
Check
it
the
said
room.
something like.
Check the room. Let's have some search rolls, please.
What is that? Notice?
Notice, sorry. I apologise. Yes, I meant notice rolls. Sorry. Okay, notice rolls. Yeah, search it, search. You don't find anything in this room. However, once you go back into the supper room next door, you do find in a drawer several copies of the questionnaire. Above the place to sign is, as Gary points out again, is the old school motto in Latin. So anyone who is taking Latin GCSE can make a common knowledge roll to translate it.
Well, let's many that.
Anyone else learning Latin, or is it just Alexandra? Okay. Well, yeah. Actually, I'm not surprised you took your time on that. It's not Latin. In fact, you have no idea what the language is at all. You've never seen anything like it before.
I got to step away for a sec. I'll be right back.
No problem.
Can I have a look at it? I'd have a look at it, Google it on my phone, yeah? With my research skills.
This deep underground, you won't. This deep underground, you will not get a signal. But of course, you can.
I'm with the best signal thing company in the world. It's EEE.
Well, all you have to go is above ground. Don't worry about that.
They've got really deep signal penetration.
Go on, make a research roll. Well, the only thing you can come up with is on some really weird, obscure website. With all those crackpot conspiracy theories that seem so popular, and I do believe that obviously you pay no attention to, do you? No, because you don't believe it all. Yeah. So,
it's all nonsense. I'm still with.
Indeed, but apparently, it's the only success you get. It apparently is the mother tongue of what? Demon Lord of Fortune and Squirrels.
Fortune and Squirrels. Goddamn squirrels. So I tell them what my research shows. Yeah. And do we get a translation? What it means?
No, it does. It doesn't give a only a few of the characters showed up, as it were. No one's actually been able to translate it, but supposedly, yeah. But,
so whatever they signed was some kind of pact with a demon. So we've got to go and I read this stuff, I don't believe it, but I remember it all. Yeah. So definitely, you've just signed a pact with a demon. We've got to go and they're probably going to drug you up and try and do something to you, and then blame it on mystical powers or some other nonsense. So we've got to try and get to the bottom of this.
There you go.
I remember in DC Comic 74.2, episode 9. There was a whole bit about where Batman had to fight some demon squirrel lords.
Demon squirrel lords all sound nuts to me.
Yeah, it is nuts, but these people are obviously nuts. One of them punched me and almost knocked my glasses off.
Ah, dear. I tell you what, I'm just going to make life easy and just do that. There we go. So, okay. At this point, as you leave, as you basically head, it takes you quite a bit of time because the supper area, the dining room area, is quite open. It has lots of things, and it's close to 7, and almost time for the concert to end with Archie's speech as you rush back to the auditorium.
Yeah, we're gonna have to run back there, I think.
Are you coming, Tiffany?
Oh, Tiffany's most certainly coming with you.
Yeah, we're going to have to go back there super fast, make sure, and I'm going to get to the sound stage and try and cut off the mic and all the sound.
I made Tiffany a promise. If you let Tiffany speak if she wants to.
Okay. So as you get back above ground, okay. As you you get back above ground and head back into the main building.
You could use this setting for ripping yarns, couldn't you?
You certainly could. Unfortunately, at this point, as you're all rushing through, as you're running to get to the auditorium, Mr. Jones, the PE teacher, appears out of nowhere and shouts at all of you, informing you that basically informing you've all lost a house point, and taking 2 whole minutes lecturing you on the dangers of running in corridors. In the background, you can still hear. In the background, you can hear the newly formed supergroup Viagra in Bed, fronted by Davy Bean. They're coming to the end of a cover of Muse's cover of Feeling Good.
Okay, thanks, mister. And then carry on, let's go.
Okay, you enter at the very back of the auditorium where a large mosh pit has formed. The band finish and bow, and you see head of school Archie Sindel approaching the stage.
Right, I'm going to go to the. I'm going to go to the. I've got to cut the microphone off, so I'm going to go to the sound system and disable it.
Unfortunately, it's not that clever. You will need to get to the stage to do that.
Well, I'm going to run to the stage then.
Well, indeed, that will be a dramatic task.
Oh, well. I can help out with that.
It's a mosh pit. Stay behind me. I'll mosh them.
Okie dokie. So, okay, so let's deal the cards in and we'll see what happens. Don't forget, obviously, you don't want, if you get a club and you fail, then basically it causes the dramatic task to fail for everyone. So you can either choose not to act on that card or spend a penny and get another card. It's really up to you. Let's see what happens. That didn't actually do anything, did it? Oh, that's just show cards. Let's do it. Next round. So, Gary. Okay, so David and Lillian are facing complications. But Gary, you are first. So obviously there isn't a map. This is all theatre of the mind. You've just got to push your way through to the front of the mosh pit. And given that you've literally got to get through people, you can use any skills you can justify to get you up on stage.
Okay. So is there a soundboard?
Yes, but it's unfortunately it's behind the stage rather than in front of it, like in proper concerts and stuff.
Okay.
Which is why you need to get up on stage to cut him off. Is what I'm trying to. Yeah.
Fair enough.
You literally just need to get through people.
Yeah, I'm
right.
going to say.
So
I'm going to say to Gary, you've got to deal with him while I go and cut the microphone off.
Right. Is there? Are they gathered in like an orchestra pit, or is this like a regular auditorium with seats?
Oh no,
it's
the school hall. It's a school hall when he's standing up on the stage. So obviously they put chairs out for what's it called in the morning where you used to all sit down and
assembly.
Yeah. Assembly. Thank you. It's been 30, 40, 40, 50, 35 years or something. Oh, so
you never forget that drama there.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's in the auditorium. So there aren't seats. It's a huge. Basically, the whole place is you're just trying to get through where everyone's mashed to the front because they've been dancing in like a mosh pit style thing. So it is literally just getting through. And I say you don't necessarily have to force your way through. It's just how. Because I know you've got certain skills that allow you to.
Yep, that's what I'm trying to figure out. So
yeah, there's lots of sash bay windows and all that down either side of the room.
Excellent. That's what I'm going to do then. Yes, I'm going to hop up on the ledges and I'm going to jump between the ledges to try and get around them.
Okay. Then, as you start pushing forwards, Archie starts his speech. Thank you all for coming today. Off you go. Sounds like athletics to me, Gary.
Okay. Let me see. What does my edge do? Does it give me +2? +2 to athletic rolls when climbing and in foot chases.
That's the one. Yep, because you've got parkour. Go for it, Gary. You are a parkour runner.
So I'm good at the fringes, but when it comes to my core, I'm poor.
Yeah.
So,
go for it.
Athletics, where are you?
Mental.
Oh, come on.
The wound should be gone now, shouldn't it?
Oh, yes, your wound should be gone, so that's actually a 7. But obviously, that basically one success gets you one token, as it were. A raise will get you 2, as it were. So you were 1 short of getting the raise, officially speaking.
All right. Did you ditch
It's
the
up to
wound?
you.
Can we ditch the wound?
I have ditched the wound because it was non-lethal.
And I did add in my +2.
That's okay.
Yeah, he done that. He finished the whole task in one move.
It costs, isn't there? I thought there was, but I don't think there is. Yeah, this
It's an 18, actually.
I have a horrible feeling there is not a limit on how many raises you can get on a dramatic task, which isn't a problem. 122.
Well, I'm just really motivated to cut him off his stupid speech.
Well, no, that's absolutely fine. Character development option cards. Those attempting makes a relevant skill check and get a task token for each success and raise. Failure means no progress, and a critical failure reduces the progress by 1, if any. The skills can be used. Yep, there is no. I'm sure there used to be a limitation, maximum of 2 successes, but I think they've done away with that. Okay, well, according to that, you got an 18, which gets you 3 tokens. So you are 3/5 of the way there. That brings us to David.
Well, I'm going to get up onto the stage as well, and then try and get to the back.
Basically, you need to get 5. Each of you needs to get 5 successes to get to the stage. Is what I'm trying to say.
So he needs to change his card or
not fail,
or refuse to roll.
Yeah.
Or not blow it.
So you have a.
I have changed my
look,
card. There you go.
Yeah.
What am I rolling now?
Whatever you. How are you going to get to the stage?
I'm going to use my my research skill to navigate through the crowd the best way, using my tactical jump RTS strategy from playing StarCraft all the time in the evenings.
Personally, I would have thought you would using your MacGyver skills would have done something to help you. But
Well, that's repair, isn't it? Okay, well, okay, I'm going to repair my way through the crowd then. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, you basically. I'm going to say, yeah, reaching through your pockets, you find some odds and sods, and realise you can render together a very low key powered stun gun that will not cause any permanent damage, but will help people jump out of the way if they're slowing you down. Make a repair check.
That's not what I'm going to roll.
A 7. Are you happy with a 7?
I'll do one more and see what happens.
So you can use the.
I'm just going to blow the dice.
Can you use a repair skill in the old version of what that repair means? As in to go to a place? He's going to repair to the stage.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. That was what I was saying. I'll repair through the crowd, yeah.
Yes, I get. Yeah.
I should have got 2 bennies for that one, I think.
You've all got too many bennies.
No, you can never have too many bennies. Not towards the end of an adventure. So yes, I got 1 success, didn't I think? Yeah.
I will award 1, and I will give 1 to you for having to point out that I'd missed out on the joke. So you got 2. You got 2 successes there, didn't you? Which is 8. Okay, that brings us to Lillian.
With 7, 2 successes? I don't know. No, it's 1 success, isn't it?
No. Yeah, 7. Yeah, you got 7, which is 1 success.
Yeah.
Lillian jumps in the mosh pit and pretends to dance, but in fact she's systematically bumping people out of the way to clear a path for her friends.
Ooh, okay. Oh ho ho! That's a 9.
I'll take that.
Making a fighting roll in the mosh pit. There's no fighting in the mosh pit.
Just banging them out of the way of her hips. Yeah.
Alexandra.
Well, you see, I'm not real sure what I want to do. I think what I want to do is I want to whip out my smartphone and I want to use my hacking skill to get into the school's computer.
Okay.
And I want to flash the lights as a distraction so that people are like busy looking up to see what kind of pattern is being flashed up there.
Okay, go for it. Sounds intriguing. I like the sound of that one. Makes no sense at all, but this game is obviously meant to be very tongue-in-cheek, so I don't have a problem with that. I get what you're getting from, don't worry. You're obviously hacking them in such a way that people who look at them in entranced and step aside for you, aren't they? That's an 8.
Yeah, two works.
He's affecting their minds with flashy lights. Okay, next up for the second round. Okay, I hope you enjoy the festivities. Okay, Lillian's up. Obviously, you can't use the same trick twice. Well, you can, but not 2 rounds in a row. So what are you going to do this time, Lillian? Makes it more interesting. You've got to be more creative. That's my house rule. That's not an official one. I'm just evil.
Oh, right. We're going to go body surfing on the crowd.
Writing.
In fact,
Go for it. A 5. That's a good success.
Yep.
You get that gets you. That's got you 3 of the 5. Basically, you all need 5 tokens. One of you need 5 tokens to reach the stage. Obviously, what I'm trying to say. Obviously, that brings us to Gary Smith. That's the the sash window. You can't use the sash windows from this point forwards, I'm afraid.
Am I close enough to make a leap? Are there curtains on either side of the stage?
Oh, yes, there are curtains on either side of the stage. I like
I'm going to make a leap for the curtains. And
okay, you make a leap for the curtains.
And I want to do this. I mean, it shouldn't happen, but I'm going to use the rapier to arrow Flynn down the curtains.
I love it. Go for it.
All right. Here goes nothing. I just need to add a +2 to that. So it's 11.
An 11, my word, I think you're there. 5 successes. Yep, so that basically at the end of this round, you will be on stage as you elf friend down the curtains. That brings us to David, who's way at the back, behind everyone else, I'm afraid to say. What are you going to do this round?
Why am I still at the back? Because everyone else got a double rate. Well, I'm going to carry on doing it, zapping people until I get to the front, and I'm trying to get to the. I'm still trying to get to the
boring. I said, that's okay. You can make a repair roll. But actually, no, you've already used you don't need. You've already built it, so you can't use repairs. I'm going to say that's going to be athletics. If you want to reuse that roll, you can come up with something else. What you can do is come up with a logical argument for using your D10 plus 2 common knowledge.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm trying to think of one now. Okay, all right. I'm going to using my common knowledge of the route around the stadium. I'm going to figure out the quickest way to get to the and use the path that Lillian cleared for me.
People bumping up against each other is like Brownian motion, so you can use your chemistry.
Yes, that is awesome. Yes, don't forget, common knowledge can apply to any of your studies. So, I mean, don't forget for your common. Yeah, I love the Brownian motion. So that's definitely a good one to go with.
Well, that's how the improbability drive was made. Brownian motion.
Yeah,
indeed.
It's a lukewarm cup of tea.
Yep, exactly.
Yep, you had to use a really hot cup of tea, didn't you? A really fresh cup of tea. Go for it. I allow that. You make your common knowledge roll because applying your knowledge of something. 4.
That's better. Yeah.
20.
Oh yeah.
How many raises is that?
That was 5. You're on stage.
I'm at the back of the stage now, and I'm in the electrics.
You are on this. You've got to the stage. That's all. You.
With so little effort too. You just kind of wandered through.
Yeah, you literally just
pretending to be a cup in Brownian motion. I'm the spoon.
Alexandra de Assas. Oh, that gets really interesting how they've written this one. Okay. Actually, yeah, you have reached the stage, but this gets rather interesting how they've written it. So, Alex? Have we lost Alex? I think we lost Alex. Okay.
Put him on hold.
Well, yeah. No, I'm just thinking. He was hacking. Obviously, there's teachers everywhere around, so you don't really want to do. That's why you don't really. I'm going to give him. I'm going to say he just uses athletics to dodge between people. There we go. New round. Now this is where it gets interesting. Actually, I'm going to. Yeah. Basically, anyone who gets 5 tokens reaches the stage just before he speaks. Yeah. So basically, obviously, people are you've got to the stage so you can stop him. So the next one, because seeing you all having fun today reminds me of an old Latin phrase. At which point, I'm just going to say it's easy enough to say you're all able to basically get there. So it sounds like he's about to repeat an old Latin phrase.
Oh,
what
no.
do you? Let's.
Well, I'm heading
take
for
him
the.
off hold and
for
let's
the-
see what happens.
I'm going to unplug the speakers.
Gary, you got the Joker. You beat Archie
Right.
before he can repeat the Latin phrase. And he is on the combat tracker, so you can target him if you want to do something. Bearing in mind, this is the entire school watching, of course. But if you want to target him, of course you can.
What's the school mascot?
No. Let's just say it's Effie, the far-breathing Welsh dragon.
Right. I'm going to yell out, "Go Dragons!" And then I'm going to say, "Happy birthday, Archie!" And I'm going to whack him on the ass with my cricket bat as hard as I can.
Okie dokie. I should target Archie for you.
Yep.
Roll away.
Say 18 whacks for Archie. All right. Here goes nothing.
You're all up
Archie
there,
Sindel.
so you're okay on that score.
Head boy.
Anyone else wants to spend cards to me up the combat tracker, they can, of course.
I'm going to keep my +2 bonus, thanks.
You hit Archie with a raise. Roll for damage.
Non-lethal, I suppose.
This could be a really short final fight. That's a wound. Okay.
You hit him on the arse and knock him off the stage.
Hang on. There we go.
6 wounds. Damage cap. I didn't turn on damage cap, so that's oh well. I
It's
forgot to turn on
non-lethal.
damage cap. I know. I forgot to turn on damage cap. So,
Oh, God.
So I
Actually,
come in a
I
little
don't have
high,
it.
and I come in a little high, and I miss his ass, and I hit him in the kidneys.
Okay, so that is damage. Actually, damage cap should be on always now, shouldn't it? Isn't, or is it still a setting rule in Swain? I thought damage cap was
Setting
standard.
rule in it, yeah.
The setting rule.
It's okay, yeah. So in that case, it doesn't say damage cap, so it is not a setting rule. So I have to say, actually, you don't actually have to. Okay. If you, yeah, that's interesting. Well, that's it. You lay him out. Your cricket bat lays him out. Actually, I might as well spend my last penny to try and soak it, thinking about it, because he's got 2. I doubt I'm going to soak 6 wounds, but we'll give it a try. Yeah, I'm afraid you basically get up to the stage, Gary, and you lay out Archie with a single whack.
And then I've got to just do something quickly now. I'm going to get Archie while he's because he's obviously not dead, is he? Yeah.
Oh no!
And we've got the microphone still plugged in. I'm going to make him spill the beans on the microphone.
Well, actually, he's incapacitated, or otherwise detained. So you can use that, don't we? Okay. However, at this point, Tiffany Van Lloyd appears in the auditorium and screams that she told the pupils to do it. Archie attacked her, and she has evidence. Okay, well, there we go. So basically, you stopped him. If he'd said the Latin phrase, then basically every pleb in the auditorium, which obviously is Gary in the party, so Gary Smith would have lost all his remaining bennies.
And become a baddie?
Pardon?
And become a bad person?
No. You just would have lost all your bennies. So if he had finished it, you'd have lost all the bennies. And there were 12 other plebs in the auditorium, so Archie would have gained 13 bennies for the final fight.
Holy shit.
but you knocked him out.
That cricket bat won. Yeah.
With a cricket bat. So the next day, you are called before the headmaster, Sir St. John Plantagenet.
Oh boy, he's not old money, is it at all?
No,
He
not at all.
Yes. He explains how he has been made aware of what happened at the supper club and has immediately expelled all the pupils concerned and fired Mr. Braithwaite. I am also in touch with the police to make arrests. I assure you, this act was not done by the supper club, for I was a member of the supper club when I was here at school, and this was only a small group who had clearly been brainwashed by Braithwaite. I will ensure that the supper club never again sinks to such levels. I also wish to ensure that I can trust your confidentiality on this matter. I don't want a PR disaster. I will confess this isn't the only strange thing that's happened in Bartington Halls. In fact, there are several incidents every year, and what I really need is a group of prefects whose secret job it is to keep an eye out for such occurrences and contain them. And you four, with some possible others I've kept an eye on, would be perfect for that job. Do you
What about
agree?
Tiffany? Well, there's a scholarship attached, right?
Well, you've already got a scholarship because you're good at cricket,
I
aren't you?
know,
So,
but you can't.
yeah.
You can always use another scholarship.
Yes, yes. In fact, actually, yes, there is scholarships as well. So, obviously, you don't need 2 scholarships here, but obviously, if you accept, I will instantly make you prefects, and you will all receive scholarships for whichever university you choose to go on to.
Fantastic. You beauty.
So, I assume the 4 of you do accept to become prefects at Bartington Hall.
Mm-hmm. And Tiffany too.
Unfortunately, Tiffany has blotted her copybooks in the past. And she can, alas, she is unfortunate, and she has agreed that we have made an arrangement with the parents, and but alas, she cannot be deemed appropriate for be a prefect at this school. But she obviously likewise
can't she be a
has received
prefect?
her parents took her out of the school this morning,
Look.
but she will receive a scholarship to whichever university she so wishes. Well, congratulations. You have solved the mystery of the, what was it called? The Halloween party. So I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly found. I have to admit, once I've got my head around how much fun and how evil I can be with this setting, I definitely think we may have to return here one day. But no, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I certainly had. I had a
lot of fun.
I've had it very amusing. So,
Fun.
Yeah, cheers.
I mean,
Yeah.
what's not to like about walking around hitting people with a cricket bat?
well, indeed. Yes, so that is where we shall leave it today. We shall possibly return to Bartington Halls. I haven't got a date for next month yet, but obviously not tomorrow, but the Sunday after. It'll be time to return to the Black and see what's going on in Deadlands Lost Colony, where hopefully we won't have any of this.
The ship's repaired now.
Hopefully,
yes,
we
should
can
hope
find
so.
a way around our current internal conflict.
Yes, indeed. Yes, that has gone a little crazy. We'll have to sort that one out.
Yeah, I'll just
But,
slap you all round the head. That'll sort that problem out.
Yep, and I'll see. I think it's only Bert I'll see on. Lone Wolf as well. So I'll see Bert and Dondrad on Tuesday for some more Savage Pathfinder. So thanks very much, guys, and I shall leave you guys to it.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Sir.
Bye, see.
See you soon. Bye.
It's time for the stream to end, so I'm going to say goodbye now. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.